Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday night D&D time. We're in the holiday season, so things may get a little weird and wild, but I'm going to try and do as many sessions as possible. This is session 71. No, wait, I think so, right? 70, 72, 71?
71.
No, I believe it's 71. Yeah.
Yes, 71. Symphony of Space. I get confused because I kept the same number count before in season 1, and so I get thrown off sometimes. Episode or session 71. I'm Jaso the DM. Who else is joining me this wonderful Friday evening?
Hello, everyone. I'm Bailey. I will be playing Glace Allure, the androgynous Eidolon. She is a College of Glamour bard.
Hey everybody, it's Luke. I'm back. I'm playing Aesop Kinku Alchemist. Next.
I always think yours is longer because it used to be.
I used to be longer.
Yeah. What's up? My name's Kevin. I play Sun Kong, your apeling bionoid monk following the way of the abundant spirit.
My name's Slim, or husband, or Brian, or something, I don't know. But I'm playing Rinkaz, a lizard folk fighter, martial art type of the bounty hunter / gunslinger / whatever. Hello.
Carl, I'm playing Kemo. He's a recently resurrected ranger, and Elemental, an arcane trickster that I've reskinned to be tech wizard extraordinaire.
Hi everybody, I'm Nick. I play in BD, the half-elf celestial warlock following Pact of the Tome, and I have the most phenomenal familiar of all time, a pseudo-dragon named Jaydra.
Thank you, everybody who is popping in to check us out. It's very nice of you. As you guys are hanging out with us, you'll be building up loyalty points, both in the form of the Streamlab points, but also in the Twitch channel points. We're going to be eventually moving over to the Twitch channel points exclusively. So in the meantime, I'm letting you guys build up both so that when we transition, you're not like, oh, I have no points left. Also, this video will be recorded and going up on YouTube. This is not for children. This is 18 plus. You
Copa
fuckers.
denied.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Go to bed.
Go to bed, children.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
None of that.
Okay, none of that. You guys can, as you watch, build up loyalty points and use it for fun stuff, like buying the party member's inspiration, or eventually maybe even naming an NPC, all kinds of fun stuff. Rinkaz, I think you still have a thing to eventually do at some point. Just let me know whenever you get to that point. And yes, in the meantime, I'm going to throw in the extension for those of you, if you just click on that link, if you're using a mobile phone or watching through a tablet or something, that's an easier device. Or if you're watching on your TV and have a phone, you can pull that up and it'll be easier to control your avatars at the bottom of the screen. So yes, Streamlab points going away. Let us, now that the housekeeping stuff is out of the way, let me hand out some inspiration.
Who used my fucking inspiration? It better have
I
been
have
worth
one
it.
for you.
Oh, nice.
It was
Nope.
me.
Nobody.
This was yours.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I'll give you a free trade on mine if you want, since I have
No, I'm-
pictures.
I'm gonna take that.
Oh, I need dirt. Draw one. Okay. Draw 69 cards. Jason, give me all 69.
Nice.
No.
Ooh, I'll keep that one.
That's a good one.
I like that.
What is
Right.
this?
Mine, for sure.
That's
I had the
nuts.
gladiatorial training. Gave me
Oh,
plus,
that's what I have too.
plus 3
Trade
AC.
me.
Yeah.
It's called training.
Okay. Here's
Wait, I
mine.
lost my card, Jason. I can't see.
Oh my god.
See what you get from get a joke.
Where'd you put it?
I don't know.
Oh my
Somewhere
god,
in-
what did you do?
There.
Lizzie ate it.
Let's see here. It's very tiny rules tweak. I don't even know that we've encountered this necessarily, but just something I wanted to bring up so that you guys know if you run into it. In terms of the injuries that you can get injuries from taking a critical hit,
getting -3 life,
getting hit with massive damage from a single source. So moving forward, that would technically count from a fireball if it reduces your HP over half of your maximum.
How did you get hit by a fireball, Sun Kong? You have evasion.
not when you're blinded.
Oh, nope. Yeah, that's a good
Can't
point.
dodge what you can't see.
They had
That
a,
was not a hit, my friend.
they had a nasty sunburst and then proceeded to just detonate all of the people who were blind.
Yeah.
Goddamn Krillin
Sunburst
killed
is
us.
Constitution, and my Constitution is a 0 of save, so...
Which is weird. But I guess you're super dex. The changes, which you kind of brought up, Sun Kong, is that instead of taking a injury when you hit 0 HP, you'll now accrue one for every failed death saving throw.
Oh, God.
Oh, boy!
So you may be able to scrape yourself back to consciousness through a final death saving throw, but you may also have some injuries afterwards for being out that long unconscious. Just a little extra something to try and avoid.
Brain injuries.
Yeah, all kinds of nasty stuff.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen because it was counterspelled by a clutch move from NVD last session. Who wants to roll die to see who wants to give the recap?
Actually, I think Ringcast wants to.
I volunteer as tribute.
Oh.
Okay. I was down for
All right. Very well. What happened last time, Ringcast, on Weird and Wild?
Well, after we decided NVD on his own choice, but also a party decision that giving up his tome, which holds many secrets and is very precious to him, a big fat no to the evil librarians or Jehovah's Witness or whoever they are that wanted to steal. We, if you have ever watched Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, remember when Gandalf kind of charges down the hill and just blinds like all the orcs and then they're all dead basically because they get slaughtered? Yeah, that's what happened to us.
We were the orcs.
We were the orcs. We got solar flared right to the face, and I think it was like 75% of the party couldn't see for at least 3 or 4 turns.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then his 2 cronies thought it was a good idea to drop a handful of fireballs on us. But in the most FMA Flame Alchemist way, NVD's like, no. No fireball for you. And torched them instead. So we basically, for most of the sessions, stumbled around like blind children dodging landmines like a bad war movie.
How is that different from normal, though?
This time we
That's fair.
didn't see how we were going to die.
Oh.
The landmines weren't metaphorical.
Normally
they were
we see
actual.
death coming a mile away.
Oddly enough, Kemo was the smart one, was out of range for like 99% of everything that happened the whole time, which was awesome.
Well,
If I'm
luckily
honest, I was
Sunkong-
just not paying attention.
He also was pretty resistant to whatever was happening.
A cloud of smoke, a zone of silence, a ring of fire, a handful of fireballs, and many expletives, and Kenku blood down everyone's throat. We were able to finish off the goon and kind of hustle out because we knew that other people might come and see what happened, and it probably wouldn't be a good idea, especially with fireball-toting weirdos to come out here and just add fuel to the fire.
You guys called Twee to explain that you were attacked by, I believe, as described in NVD, bandits? Was that
Oh
it?
no, I wasn't here for this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
Sun
said
Kong
bandits, I
ended
think.
up doing it.
Okay.
I called him.
You guys
And-
said bandits?
Did you guys explain what they looked like by any chance? Or did you just kind of go with the idea of them being bandits?
Yeah, we just said bandits and then
Oh,
just told them
my
told them
God.
where to find them. Hey,
Okay.
this is what happens when you leave Sunkong to figure out what to do.
I I guess you're right. That is
He's
technically
not-
our fault.
He's not the intelligent one of the group. That's why I let you guys talk. What
They're
the
at very least cultist book clubbers.
Bandits. We were. They tried. I mean,
Bandits!
technically,
Oh,
they
no,
tried to
bandits.
rob us. So
Bandits.
I'm not wrong. It's just a little more complicated, but I mean,
You're technically wrong. The best.
The most best.
I'm also technically right.
And with that, you guys return to the ship proper. And so with that, everyone reboarded the ship. All of you, well, not all of you, some of you more than others, were hoping to treat their bruises, their burns, and scrapes from the all-out battle that seemed to take place in the Jaydra outskirts, the area between the Jaydra capital and the landing area where your guys' ship was. You all returned to the ship. Kemo, feels like a lifetime
Just
since
here, sorry.
you... It feels like a lifetime, Kemo, since you last stepped foot in this strange interior. As you look around, both you and Fa come to the realization that you each have some things to attend to. Kemo, you are back in the living world. However, you need to potentially get used to this new Goliath body. You consider perhaps maybe taking some time to train on the ship to sort of get in touch more with your new physique. Fa, you have been reunited with someone that you know from your past. However, you do wonder if maybe taking a little bit of time, spending some time in the meditation pool, trying to regain some of those memories that you lost may be beneficial or not. With that, yes, everyone returned. You have not rested yet since you guys just got on board, but you arrived. You are on the ship. Elysia is in tow. She looks around in wonder. There is the control panel ahead of you, technically called the astrolabe. And as you peer around in the mission control room, you see the navigator sitting in the chair where Kui typically sits. Otherwise, with that out of the way, the ball is in your guys' court. What do you do?
Oh, what a harrowing battle that was! Goodness.
And Vidi, what? What
Okay,
was that?
yeah. What just happened?
What kind of... honey, are you in a cult and do you need help?
Not a cult, but
A
yeah.
book club.
No,
Book club.
not a book. I don't even know that they read.
Well, what was this nonsense about the tome? The tome. What?
Yeah, my tome. Take the tome out from underneath my robe. Remember before we went to Scourge, I showed you this. Yeah, they want this.
They said that you collected it for them.
That's where they lied. So.
But why did
Kinda
they?
need
How
your
did
help.
they know you?
Well, remember when we were on our way to Scourge and we decided to send some people over? Oh, yes. You. Okay. So once upon a time, Fa, because you're really smart, so you can pretend. We sent some people back to Ravis Eterna to learn some information. Well, Hush and I studied there, kind of as students at Wizard School, and there's part of your exit exam, I guess you'd call it, or proficiency test, is you have to go on a kind of like a mission or a quest to retrieve items that they want you to get. And it seems harmless enough, but there's these people, the ones that attacked us. They're called the Scintillium. They're I guess highly specialized magic users trying to just push the limits of things that the mortal realm can do with magic and science and whatever. And they always try to take the top talent from the school and have them run errands for them, and then employ them. Well, the school and the Scintillium, they both wanted this tome, and I don't know why. But when I collected it, I got separated from my party, and technically I never went back to school to turn it in. So,
Well, if they're willing to kill for it, you're better off with us, and so is the book.
Yeah, it's that. I mean, so what exactly is this tome again? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to remind Sunkong.
well, that's what I've been trying to figure out while I've been with you guys. You remember when I met you all, or most of you rather, I was kind of studying plants on a remote planet, trying to have a unassuming helper's hand life while I tried to lay low and figure this out. Because I really don't understand why two groups of people want something that seems to be really powerful. I have to remind you guys I'm really not skilled with magic at all until I found this thing, so...
Well, Nvidia, has it done anything to you in any weird negative way? Is it, like, dangerous or something?
Negative, no.
I mean, aside
this
from
is the
people-
greatest thing in my life, honestly, because, I mean...
Does seem like a net positive. I think you should stick with it.
But it specifically said that nobody else can have this but me. And like you all said, if they're willing to kill on sight for this thing, I feel like I only have two options. I have to figure out what this is the key to, or you guys need to drop me off on the most remote planet possible and never talk to me again, because you're probably going to be in a lot of danger. Yes,
Well, one of those options is do.
But the book told you?
Yes, so...
So it
one of the things it doesn't talk, it writes. So one of the things is it updates its pages by itself, and when I scribe into it, it writes back, which is actually pretty neat, and it took a while for me to figure that out. But the most recent time, remember when I asked you guys to lock me in my room and never let me out while I meditated?
I thought you were just going through things, honey.
Well,
We usually do the same for chatter. I just assumed. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I honestly didn't want you to know, because I was trying to contact whatever was on the other side of the book, but I didn't know what was going to happen because I'd never done it before. And the interesting thing that I have to figure out now is when I tried to do it, Jaydra actually responded, not the book.
Jaydra talked?
Well, Jaydra wrote in the tome right next to me, so it's either his tome or he's working on behalf of whatever owns it. I haven't quite figured that out yet.
Well, that makes sense, right? I mean, you were able to summon Jaydra through magic, which was granted to you through the book, so...
Jaydra, where's Jaydra? Come here! Come here, baby!
I offered Jaydra a drink.
Do you work for the book, Jaydra? Are you the owner of the book?
That sounds like a no to me.
Are you Nvidi's friend? I mean, that's clearly a yes.
What's that? You're plotting to kill Nviti? What a shame. I know, Jaydra. That's called a joke.
I wink at Aesop.
No.
Okay, well, Jaydra, can you write to us, and do you know this group of people that's after this tome? I'm gonna be serious with you, Jaydra. I don't understand a thing you're saying, or trying to say, but thank you.
And Jaydra looks over at you as it finishes its long-winded bark/growl.
Do I feel what he's feeling right now?
You feel a sensation within you similar to that of a feeling of being lost in translation.
Really good point. I don't quite think he understands with us trying to talk to him.
Oh. Does he understand Draconic?
Hard to say, really.
I speak to him in Draconic. Hey, can you hear me or understand?
Okay, that's a no.
I shake my head and tell them that. Maybe
Oh.
it's celestial?
No, let's just write down in the tome. He can clearly write back, right? Let's just ask him this stuff in the tome, right?
Jaydra bounds over to you, Nvidi, and does like the cat thing of just quickly crawling up your leg, and then uses its barbed tail to gently tap at the tome underneath your cloak.
Ooh.
Okay, let's try that. I assumed, and that was my first problem, that would actually, I needed to channel a lot of energy into this to make this work, but maybe we could just try it out. Can I kind of unlatch it from my belt and open it up? And kind of hold it steady, almost like it's on like an easel or like a stand or something.
Mm-hmm. Jaydra crawls up your hands and you flip through to an empty page. Jaydra looks down at the page and then back up at you tentatively.
You want me to go first, don't you? Okay, well, I guess we can ask him questions and he can write back, kind of like how we talk with Hush. What do you guys want to know?
Who?
Oh, go ahead, Glasse.
Oh, well, why are people after him? Does he know?
Okay, so I'll write down why did those people want this book?
Jaydra watches you write this, but then continues watching. And make a insight check as it curls its head a bit your way.
Insight check for me or insight check for him?
For you.
For me.
Yes.
Insight.
At
+4.
advantage.
Oh.
Because you have a telepathic link to Jaydra. You may not be able to hear words in your mind coming from him, but... it's
22.
Okay. It's easier to understand his body language because of the telepathic bond. You get the sense as you finish writing and watch him slightly tilt his head. It seems as though he's waiting for you to do something else before he can answer.
I gotta do that other trick, don't I? Yeah, it's
Trick? So what's the other trick?
that thing I needed you to lock me in my room for.
Oh, goodness. Well, we don't want you to do that out here.
Well, what is it? What was it?
Oh, well, if I want to make contact with Jaydra where we can actually understand each other, I believe I have to do something very, very taxing, and might actually be stressful enough where I'm kind of not useful for a bit.
Well, we have a while to go for our destination, don't we?
I think we
so.
have some time.
Worth a shot.
Well, if it's taxing, why don't we write a list to him? And then he can either write a list back or answer at least one.
That sounds good.
Oh wait, we're not wasting time.
We definitely at least want to know why those people were after the book. I presume it has something to do with the power that spawned Jaydra and your magic, but I don't know, just anything beyond that would be helpful.
Well, if we each want to ask him one question, I'm fine with that. Otherwise, I'll come up with a couple others and then try to do this again. Let you know what I find out.
Sounds good.
Well, I had my question.
Is it about the book or at large?
I mean, about the whole situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, give me a second.
Hold, please. I'm gonna write them down and post them in chat just so we can refer back to it later on the specifics on the diction.
Hey,
Take
a minute to think about some questions while I go pee real quick.
If it helps, you should probably ask him
I'll be right back.
where he's from.
Post the questions in chat.
We'll do.
Oh yeah, where he's from. Good.
Where he's from?
Yeah.
Where Jaydra is from, or where?
Both. Where Jaydra is from, where the power that
book.
Jaydra is from, where the book is from.
Yeah.
Or like who originally, maybe like who had the book before you, or if anyone did, or like does it belong to someone else? Where did it come from? Yeah, that kind
And
of
what
thing.
possibly could be the goal of power that owns this book? Clearly it has something in mind for you. I'd like to know that that something is good,
Relatively.
leading us in a bad direction, no offense.
Jaydra, where did you come from? Where did you go?
Don't.
I don't understand.
Oh,
I just wanted to ask. Where? No, never mind.
ask him if he knows what Twilight is.
Oh, great
well,
question. That's a good one.
Okay, so about that,
No.
the last time I asked it that was one of the first questions that I wrote down, and it burned a hole in the page where I wrote Twilight down. So I'm gonna assume it's bad, and it specifically said don't mention it. So,
We're not gonna ask about Twilight.
Well, that's weird.
They didn't like it, so I'm gonna say they didn't
They.
like it.
Did
They. I don't know. I'm still very confused.
Did it have, like, when it burned a hole in the page, was it like smoke or like dark shadowy stuff or like radiant energy burning a hole, or was it just like fire?
I didn't see it happen because I wrote in the tome and then closed it, then picked it up when I woke up in the morning, and it was kind of charred.
Damn. Well, I have a theory, and this is based on pure conjecture, but your powers seem to come from a place of light. It's always fire and radiance and stuff like that, sunlight, that sort of thing. Same deal with those fellas that attacked us. Twilight seems like it might be the opposite of that. Maybe your author is poised against the Twilight. We know it's some sort of change, some sort of natural change.
Yeah. Maybe it's shift from the light. So.
But that's of course
really
just,
good point.
That's just pure conjecture, of course. I could be making a connection where there is none.
Maybe your book is a weapon against Twilight.
Wow.
It's a good hypothesis, I guess you could say. It is called the Roar of the Arboreal Dragon. So, I'm right there with you on that one.
I see. It's a pretty metal name.
Arboreal, like trees?
Wait,
That got to do with
arboreal dragon?
Boreal or
Arbor?
Arboreal, like forest,
Like trees.
like
how's
trees.
that make-
Yeah.
How's that get to light?
Well, it's possible. I've heard of the certain sects of Eladrin culture that worship summer and sunlight, so there might be a
So
connection.
maybe,
Light and nature.
yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking. Maybe it's like just the nature of sunlight, grass, trees. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm gonna cast detect magic on you, NVD. And it's just I pull out like this little scanner and start looking at you.
I'll pull down my hood and detect magic back. Is it working? Can you see that?
What? I don't. Do your light thingy. What kind of magic is that?
Prestidigitation. I'll kind of do some light sparkles from my hand.
So, I don't know
Detect
if you
magic.
know.
Prestidigitation
Well, I meant
is.
like I don't want to speak out of bounds here, but your character, the light healing mode.
Oh, you want the actual magic, not the fun tricks that I actually know how to do myself.
Oh, honey, heal me.
No, you want to know where your magic, right?
Oh,
What I want to
okay.
find out.
Do I have juice left? Yeah, I do. I have 2 dice left. I'll cast Healing
do.
Light.
Yeah, you notice that Fa, Kemo, and Glosse especially seem to have quite a few nicks, cuts, and some sear marks against their skin from the multitude of fire and radiant blasts that attacked you last session.
Okay, I'll Healing Light. It's only going to be 2 dice.
I'll Glosse so I can scan.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay. So, 5.
And you're detecting magic, Fa?
Know the presence of magic within 30 feet, see it as aura, and know the
School, you cut out.
The school of magic. Okay, what school would that fall under in VD?
Healing Light. It is a just bonus action. It doesn't. Because I have a 12d6 healing pool.
It's
So
Healing Light. Yeah, it's like a class cantrip thing.
Yeah, it's a class ability.
Tied to my charisma.
Hang on.
I can post if you want it what it says in D&D Beyond if you want, if that helps you.
I don't think that lists the school of magic.
It doesn't have one.
I'm kind of trying to use this to get diagonally at the where's the magic, who's the magician.
It's difficult to determine. Well, in that case, especially because it's a class ability, it's difficult to determine an exact school, Fa. But you get the barest sense from the readings coming off of the device that's trying to detect this arcane energy that it does in fact seem to be in some way channeling through NVD.
Alright, well that's something, I suppose.
As if he's a conductor for the arcane energies rather than a potential originator of it.
Did you get what you needed?
These readings can't be right. It says that you're kind of like a conduit. It's just like spraying out of you.
Like a lightning rod, only with fire and sunlight.
Oh, check. Yeah. It's.
What does that mean?
It means that, Frog kind of scratches the back of their head. More data points are needed.
Well, I could give you one more reading, but that's gonna be it for me.
I think this is gonna be a field study. I don't know that we're gonna figure this out.
Elysia turns to you all now, having spent this time just peering around in a bit of awe and disbelief at the room, and turns and says, "It could be coming from whatever patron NVD worships."
That's my thought, but the question is, this boreal dragon, what is its goals? I'm assuming that is the author that is giving you your power. That would explain why Jaydra is the way that he does. He's like a little gold dragon. Well, silvery gold.
Yeah, he did end up changing colors after after we went to Scourge and we saved the boy.
Ask him about that as well. Write
Ask
that
him
down.
Yes, actually, that's good. Ask him if he does change colors regularly. That could be
Or like,
another
what
clue.
was that when he did? Like, what did that mean anything? Or
Well, when I wrote it down, is it good that you changed colors and you grew? He said yes, but he didn't really elaborate.
okay.
But did you ask him if he knew why, or just if it was good?
I just asked if it was good because I was nervous.
Well, maybe press a little deeper. You and Jaydra are fast friends, so I'm sure
And we're
he
here to
won't
protect
mind.
you if anything happens.
I mean,
Look,
Lord knows Jaydra knows all of my deep dark secrets, so it seems only fair, right?
what color did he used to be?
It's a gold.
He was pretty gold, yeah,
Oh,
Very cool.
then silver.
with red orbs following him around, and now he's just silver.
No orbs.
I mean, this already may be a given, but I kind of like to know who my allies are and stuff. And I don't know if he can speak the truth being a conduit or the person themselves. Does he trust us? I mean, maybe it's a dumb question, but are we... I mean, if we're ushering in some sort of power, are we on its side or are we, just pawns in this thing? I kind of would like to know out of curiosity.
Well, if we're being honest, I did ask about that, if I was supposed to be with you guys, and that seemed pretty positive.
Oh, well, I got nothing then. You guys seem to have pretty much everything else covered.
Yes, it's quite a mystery we should continue unraveling as we go. It is quite curious,
I look to Jaydra and offer a nod and say that thank you for helping us so far. If there's anything we can do, then you can respond. Please let us know. He probably doesn't understand what I'm saying, but if you can let him know that.
Yes, I mean, if Jaydra is any indication, I'm sure this boreal dragon is a pretty alright fellow.
Oh yeah, make sure to tell him that. We are his friends.
Scaly boys.
I'll sign it with a heart and a smiley face.
I don't know if that's alright.
Love is universal, right?
Make it wink. The smiley face.
Wink.
Wink.
Okay,
Alicia peers around and says, your ship,
Oh yes.
it's unlike any other that I've seen in my time.
It's quite
Told
something.
you be safe in here.
The geodesic structure. Not exactly a common ship, however, not unique or one of a
Really?
kind either. They are occasionally created, mostly by human wizards, sometimes sold by the arcane. Not a cheap ship, however. They do not sport this interior.
Well, this was given to us by an arcane man.
Yeah.
Gifted
He's
to
pilot. Well, it's kind of in a way. He pilots the ship now, I think, or will. It's his.
the
We
glass
thought he
steel.
died.
Oh,
But he's fine, actually. Is he here on the ship somewhere, I think? Right now? Isn't he? Or did we leave him some? No, he's on the ship, isn't he?
I will admit, it's a little unclear to me as well, the current status. There's a lot going on with this ship, suffice to say.
well, the panels outside, they're crafted from glass steel. I noticed that yours in particular sports refraction to them, a certain camouflage almost. I imagine it would be very difficult to spot while in wild space.
We have
Yes.
been pretty sneaky with it sometimes.
Is the interior powered by some type of magic?
Like the actual ship itself? Well, I mean, you pilot it with magic.
Well,
But
is it like
this-
magic and science put together?
I don't
No.
understand it.
I think that's how that
Technomancy, or magiance is the
That's the word,
Genius
magians.
prefer.
Yes.
And is that a frail creature sitting over there in that chair? She points over at the navigator.
A what?
That's our pilot, or was, or is still.
That's the navigator. That's his name. What is your name, navigator? Is that your name? We never asked your name.
We're
The-
horrible people. I'm sorry.
The navigator turns to you guys after seemingly having his head poked into the illusory programmed illusions in front of him that show a planetary system and says,
Oh man, that's great.
It's cool.
It's even better than it was.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I didn't know what he said.
I don't understand either, Alicia says.
Fa and Vidi, one of you,
Yeah, okay.
please.
If I gotta be ready first, but yeah,
It's
kind of
gonna-
caught me
Okay.
off guard.
Oh,
Sorry, sir. Are you guys ready?
I'll pull my hood down, activate the.
translator died. It's gotta charge. It only take 10 minutes.
Alright, navigator. Once more with feeling. What is your name?
Everyone hears a similar sound come from the navigator. In VD, you hear,
I have another name, but I was told to keep it a secret, like the arcane gods.
A
Was it
secret?
the arcane man who told you that?
Yes.
Interesting. I guess we never really thought about asking the arcane man his name either.
Oh no, we
I
did.
guess he wouldn't tell us. Oh, did we?
He told us the arcane man is fine.
the navigator through NVD also relays,
The alchemy plant, as Aesop was growing, is reached maturity. Hush is currently looking after it.
Oh.
Ketz was also able to synthesize 2 extra rooms for you all,
Go cats.
provided
Go
that
cats.
there seems to be more main members to the Wyld Tycoons.
Excellent. Do we have anything to replicate with this alchemy plant? We need to use this carefully, remember everyone.
Wasn't
I
there?
don't remember what it
didn't you-
does.
Well, no. Didn't you need like smaragmus or whatever it's called?
Smagma.
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
Smart,
I need it for the cure, but the alchemy plant, remember, it's what we ran into with the Serenitels, where it can replicate or rather transfer the properties of 2 items, but it's random which properties get transferred. So hypothetically, we could turn lead to gold, we could turn chocolate to vanilla, all sorts of fun things.
Maybe. Do you guys think maybe I should take Alicia and the rest of the crew for a tour of the ship while you guys figure this out? Maybe she might get some more intel on the ship, taking a look around it.
We need to show her the Mimir.
Oh,
yes.
Telling her about
that's
that.
right.
But besides, I am in no rush to use that alchemy plant. I think we should save it for something important.
Yes. Well, let's start with our trophy room, and we'll show you the Mimir.
very well, Alicia says.
I don't think it would hurt for everyone else who hasn't seen it to also see it.
I think Aesop hasn't explicitly seen it, but he would have, you guys probably would have showed it to him at this point.
Oh.
He's probably seen it in the trophy room, but, are you planning on activating it? Is Glosse gonna activate
Oh,
it?
yes. I've been
Okay.
talking to it sometimes, and it
Okay,
doesn't really
well.
respond, but...
Aesop wants to come see that.
I'm trying to collect the tokens.
We definitely have Rec with us then.
Those of you who do use the elevator to call the cargo bay to you and enter. As you all enter, you see the standard items that surround a robotic head of some type of machine in the form of a cat. A large skull that once belonged to a rather nasty creature that you guys felled back on Relica. 2 steel escape pods that once were used to escape the Omega prison ring, and the massive spirit warrior that sits in the corner. Also, as you guys enter, in the center, you see within a purplish pink translucent chest or box the mimir floating inside, a deep black color, patches and strings tied around it to give it a unique look. You notice standing in front is the arcane man and Kui, who seem to be conversing about it or something related to it. You see Chatter sort of curiously looking on from on top of the skull, and Lizzie over in the corner looking bored. The arcane man and Kui turn and both greet you. Oh, welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back, everyone. The arcane man said.
Ooh. Well, yes, this is Elysia, and we're here to show her the mimir. And try to communicate with it. It's been a while.
You wish to speak to the mimir?
Oh, yes.
Do you guys currently have rec on?
No.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
turning them off.
Turn that shit off.
As you guys say this, the arcane man turns and says,
Before we jump into these festivities, may I have a brief word with you, Wyld Tycoons?
Of course.
I mean, sure.
He doesn't move too far away, but pulls all of you main members into a small huddle and says,
These matters carry a great importance. Do you trust these people in this room with your lives?
Maybe the helpers hand people can leave.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
would like
that's what
that very much.
I would have left Cecil in the other room just to hang out.
And maybe Lizzie can go drink some... I don't know. Lizzie girl, go have fun. Or
What?
something. Girl, go!
Go bye.
Girl, bye!
This was boring anyway. Bye!
Bye!
Bye. Oh, I love her now.
She leaves. Are you guys asking? Okay, so the others leave, leaving only the core group, along with Kui, the arcane man, as well as Elysia.
And Chatter. I like how
And-
Chatter's still there.
Chatter.
I would die for Chatter.
I mean, Chatter's just like a little animal monkey. That's no offense, Nakong, but just like a little animal.
Oh.
The arcane man turns and says,
What did you plan to do in terms of viewing the mimir?
Talking to it, showing its face, seeing if it, well, has any effect on any of the people that haven't seen it the way it affected us.
I see. Well, you are my right hands, and you have been around for a little longer than I have, having recently been freed. If you trust this woman, then she may stay while we interact with the mimir.
I mean, I think we should start trying to trust people. I mean, we owe them the truth a little bit. It is kind of our fault. All of this, I guess.
I know the story, but I'm curious to see the
Well,
actual results from
Certain
this.
people, at least.
Gotta start off slowly.
the arcane man politely steps aside. Kui sort of looks on in curiosity.
Glosse will attempt to take the Mimir out of the box or whatever it's in and activate it.
You touch the side of this translucent box. It almost looks like glass made of this pinkish purple. As you do, the top of it seems to almost shift to the side. Where a normal top would still physically be there as it falls off to the side, this one just simply vanishes, leaving the top open. Before you begin to reach in, the Mimir simply floats up above and towards you a foot or so. Staying about chest size high as it shifts off the platform and floats in the air.
Whoa. I want to cast Detect Magic on that.
You cast Detect Magic and certainly sense a reading of magic coming from it.
Okay, let's see. Alright, well everyone, come along, gather around here. I want...
Cautiously keeps like one step back.
I want to, like, put my hands on the Mimir and see if that does anything.
What? Why?
Don't, no sudden yelling!
Don't you? What? You're touching!
It's
You
fine.
slowly place your hands touching the sides of the Mimir.
Everyone get down!
No!
Far jumps.
It responds.
Mimir 496571.
Yes. 45671. Okay. What? Glosse lore number 1. Only 1.
Brilliant.
Can you understand us?
Affirmative.
Arcane man, what is this? This is what do we do now? Do we just
ask it? Show us a record of what was the place called again?
sigil?
I look at Aesop. I look at Glosse.
Sigil.
Sigil! Yes.
Let's see, you better not be looking at Aesop, he doesn't fucking know.
Yeah, normally I would, but
The arcane...
show us your record of sorry.
Oh, it's okay. The arcane man says,
The next step is for me to relay to it my name. However, as I mentioned before, I believe before we do this, that we make sure that we are all ready for whatever next steps are necessary, and that included making sure to fix Kui's ailments.
Oh man, this is that step? Oh.
So we're not quite done yet then.
No. Well, sorry, Alicia, but this is the Mimir. It's real, but we can't quite show you what it does yet.
Alicia steps up and doesn't touch the Mimir, but just takes a second to look over it and kind of just ponder it for a second. She runs her hand through her hair and seems to be a little bit lost in thought. She says...
Keep it going.
Thank you for the bits. She turns and looks at it and says, "Oh yes, this is a Mimir. They were quite a few on Sigil. They served as knowledge banks, repositories of information." As she says this, she thinks for a second. Her voice trails off. And she goes, "Sigil. Sigil, yes. The City of Doors. The center of all things. How... It's as though somehow I'd forgotten about it."
So, is it good?
Oh, yes. You
Well,
said that. Well, back at the observatory, when you mentioned the name, I had nary an idea what it was. Now it seems foolish to have never remembered it.
Must be something to do with the Mimir then, right?
What's the last thing you remember of it?
Well, I certainly knew my fair share of the elements of Sigil itself, specifically the Mimir. Perhaps that's what helped jog my memory in some sense. I've never actually been there myself, though.
I see. But now you know that it was once a thing.
So when you say that, what exactly do you mean was once a thing?
Well-
This is my favorite part.
It's not a thing anymore. I think that it was shattered by a big old powerful thing that we don't know yet exactly what it was.
That does not make any sense. For
Well-
Sigil to shatter.
I mean, it's confusing, okay? It wasn't our fault. It was a weird situation. People died, probably. Lots of people died. And I think, it has something to do with like a glowing purple gem or something. I don't know, but I think it's shattered. I don't know. Lots of things happen during interesting part of our lives, and I think, I mean, if it didn't shatter, where is it?
I
So defensive.
don't know. Sigil rests atop an impossibly tall spire in the outer plains. At least from what my memory tells me. Its exact location is difficult to determine because that is a bit of an oxymoron. However, for Sigil to not exist anymore, to be destroyed or broken somehow, it is, as far as I remember, the center point of all things. It would bring great imbalance to, well, the multiverse.
Okay, well,
Oops.
maybe it's just locked away somewhere in that plane of that you mentioned, and everybody has forgotten about it. That's the answer.
You all mentioned that you had more to do with the Mimir. More ground to cover.
We have to help our friend first before we do anything else.
She turns and Kui says, yes, I have a bit of a phasing in and out problem. Just a minor bug.
It's a little more than a minor bug, but that's all the more reason to get it fixed as soon as we can.
The arcane man turns you all.
And says, did you get everything that you needed then?
I guess.
For now, I guess.
We should return the Mimir to the safe place in the chest.
Okay. Down you go, little baby. Bye-bye. 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 2, 1.
You go to wrap your hands around it to move it, but it's as if it simply shifts with your hands touching, or not touching, but a few inches away, as if you're just pushing it through the air, or it's just simply going where you wish it to go as it shifts back into the illusory chest.
Man, that thing is spooky. I love it.
What the fuck was that?
There's the Mimir, everyone! Woo!
Just think of it like a kind of like wreck. I mean, kinda.
Kinda, but we can't turn it off.
Scarier, more, menacing wreck. Yes.
This knowledge of sigil. Did you mentioned you having a hand in this, sure, but did you always know about this?
No.
Not till recently. Well, I mean, relatively recently, like in the past couple of months, you could say.
So then you went through the same process of some state of amnesia to some extent.
We went through the process of remembering little bits and pieces. We don't have the full piece, I don't think.
I mean, from what we know, we're the only ones that know about it. Well, I mean,
she thinks through her mind, or she ponders for a second, putting a hand to her chin and says, "You know, as a matter of fact, Ringkaz, I don't remember ever having anyone throughout Jaydra or wherever else I visited bring it up. It is though its existence was wiped from memory itself. Sigil holds a huge importance in all worlds. Who else have you shared this information to, if any?"
Krigan!
yeah, an old
Well, he shared
ally
that.
of mine. He was the one who had it originally. Back on, I look around everybody and kind of shrug and say, are you familiar with the prison ring?
I had received word that he had commandeered it.
He was.
How would
there.
you have shared this information with him?
I don't know.
He had the Mimir. Kind of. And well, he was my partner back before all this happened, before Sigil got shattered, so to speak. And so he was part of the events that took place, and he was there when we first saw this. The only other person that was there.
I don't think. Well,
Kaz. I mean, and
She remembers him though. He had met her.
yeah.
Yes, I do remember Kaz. I also felt the pangs of his passing when the time came.
Oh.
yeah, his pangs, if you will, were kind of the prison ring not existing anymore. And
I heard about that as well. So Krigan was able to pass the Mimir on to you before being consumed by the witchlight.
Funny story, Krigan's still alive. He joined us for a while, and I think that's kind of why he did the whole thing, to get us to come there. And, well, he kind of went off on his own for a bit.
I don't understand. The patrollers mentioned that they used the witchlight as a last resort measure, that he was going to release all the prisoners on board, so that the entire ring was consumed by one of the witchlights that's now been retired. But you're saying he's alive?
I put my finger to my lips and nod to her, kind of like yes.
He's the one that wants the Twixt to know the truth. He is a little more of the mind that everyone needs to know as soon as possible, all together. Well, that was his idea.
Had it not be for him telling us that, we may have not told you that you're the first person that we've told. I mean, aside from, I point to like Aesop and shrug and say,
Hello.
Yes. However, a war criminal with a knowledge of the center of the universe, out on his own now, who wants to spread this information.
Well,
I mean, when you put it like that.
but, I mean, he is a war criminal. But maybe it will do us some good if he does. I mean, if he does tell people, maybe getting it out there slowly in little sprinkles of crazy Cregan saying all of it is helpful. I mean, we are starting with one person out of all this time.
The arcane man turns and says,
I don't believe it would be.
Oh. You don't believe it would be good?
No.
Oh. Why?
We hold some of the most valuable secrets that we can ponder or even consider within the inside of this ship. If people were to find out that we hold relics from a place as important than that, they're more than likely going to try and come obtain them.
Oh, so...
It is the exact reason that I built the interior of the ship in the way that it is, so that it had certain defensive measures.
That makes sense.
I never thought of that. That he would just... I mean, I didn't think that he would, but, we need to look for Cregan.
Had intruders here before.
Oh.
Who?
Remember?
They were like aliens. They were after information for the ship. The navigator knew all about it. Then...
Oh, yes. The navigator spoke about those. But he did mention that you were able to take care of any of them before they were able to return to their ships.
What were they after?
I just remember them being very ugly.
They could have been after the Mimir. Or perhaps other things.
Other things?
Dick pics.
Real
This
mature.
ship holds many secrets.
Well, can we know some? So we don't send war criminals off with secrets anymore?
I think it better that I withhold some of them in case you do share more information with war criminals.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like all those crazy rooms that we got stuck in.
Yeah, there's the Wyrd in here. There's a pocket of the Wyrd in the ship. Did you know that? Arcane man?
I did not.
Well, now you know.
And, oh yeah, and what's his name was lost in there? Him and his invisible friend.
Doran.
Doran, yes.
Diedrich. Doran.
You're saying you met with Diedrich and Doran?
Well, we met with Diedrich. Doran, no.
Diedrich, correct me if I'm wrong, was inside the ship and mumbling to Doran the whole time, and we just kind of, to keep him calm and sane, just went along with it.
No. Diedrich remembers everything. Diedrich knows everything now. His memories come back, right? Is that what happened?
Oh yeah, so war criminal, and yes, so...
Oh, goodness. We're not very good at keeping secrets, are we?
But he didn't know about... No, he didn't know about his... We're not supposed to say this, but we're all telling secrets. I want to whisper into the arcane man. Do you know about the 10th pit? I don't want Alicia to hear it.
He leans back. There is a moment of pause on his face.
Oh god.
He says,
Yes.
Insight check? Does he seem like...
Sure.
Fucking... Okay, I need to get my dice.
I entrust the ship to you. By the way, we did this, and this. Please,
What?
Joy. Let me just
Okay.
from the ship.
That's good. You know about him.
uh-oh.
My insight was like a 5.
You're unsure of his reaction, Glase.
Okay. Well, they had something to do with the return of the memory for Diedrich.
As a matter of fact, when I began construction of the ship, somehow they realized that I was building it despite I was doing it in utmost secrecy. I was not aware of their ideas that they had in mind at first. But they made a deal with me. They offered me the supplies required to build the intricate technomantic nature of the insides. Technology that they said was valuable and taken from a completely different world, another shell, that had advanced technology. They gave this to me, and they also gave me 2 bodyguards. They were named Diedrich and Doran. Have you seen any of the logs that I kept on the ship?
No.
Or have you run into those yet?
Didn't you run into a couple of them?
Yeah, didn't we run into that?
Yeah, you guys
We
did.
saw his, like, what happened in the past?
Oh, you mean the ones, the animated logs?
Yes.
Yeah, we totally saw those. We saw a room with your face all over it, and then we saw a log where it was Diedrich and Doran were there, and other people were there. You were there. I think you were there.
I was crafting the beginnings of the ship's interior.
Okay. That's what that was.
I spent some time with both Diedrich and Doran, and I believed that I could trust them. However, as the ship's developments continued, they dug deep into the ship's interiors and absconded with certain items that I believe held a high importance.
Such as?
There are items that I'm holding on to that are imperative in the further steps after the Mimir gives us our next assignment. Items that specifically relate to the lady herself.
Oh.
As far as I was aware, they, despite me trying to track them down, were able to both escape the ship and make their way off with them.
So they betrayed you?
Yes.
As far as that goes. Okay.
They broke the contractual agreement I made with the 10th Pit, and thus I have not dealt with them since.
What was your agreement? Or are you allowed to say it?
Perhaps I would tell you at another time.
He's like, shit, how much time do you got?
Sure. I guess. I mean, that sounds like a hot topic right there, but...
It matters little now. I do not intend to fulfill it.
Are they good people?
They broke their contractual agreement. Good or bad does not matter to me. Only that they did not honor it. And finding the ire of one arcane will find you the ire of others.
Oh.
Are they more of a neutral party, would you say?
I do not know much about them. Does not matter to me. They provided the materials needed, and we made a deal.
Been there.
Well, I'm sorry if we've caused any duress or problems for your plans or anybody else's, but you do have to understand our position in all of this. I hope.
What exactly is your positions?
That's what we're trying to find out. Live is number one. I mean, being wild nuts isn't the best way to live, but maybe making right on something that we were aware or unaware of. I can maybe speak for everyone when I say that should Sigil actually have been blown up, or it be a bad thing should we come to learn that, we hope to make right on it.
Absolutely.
Then your interests are my own. A deal was struck between each of us with the lady herself. We must hold to that deal. We must see whatever this task holds before us, given to us by the lady through the Mimir here, that we complete it to its fruition. If what Elysia says is true about Sigil, and from what I remember I can agree with this, Sigil holds a dire importance to all things. I am self-motivated, but I am not suicidal. If the fulcrum of the universe is missing, then this causes a dire imbalance to all worlds.
Why would somebody want to do that? What on earth would have the power to do something like that?
Whoever it was, I doubt it was a singular figure. More than likely would have to be a collection, an organization of some power. There were many factions on Sigil, though I don't believe any one of them, even at the pinnacle of their power, could have pulled off something as revolutionary as what happened that day. We all seem in alignment, though. I have asked that each of you, despite your own personal interests, with which I do not care whether or not you pursue, it is up to you and your right to choose, but the long-term goal is for you to see this to its end. And those of you not obligated by this agreement with this figure, the Lady of Pain, as you have spoken to us in the past, I would hope that you would help to see it through.
Well, naturally, it's the least that I owe this group.
What was the lady? Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Oh.
No, it was not. I wasn't gonna add anything. You're fine.
Oh, what was the Lady of Pain's role in Sigil? I mean, she's the Lady of Pain. That doesn't sound good.
She was its arbiter, the protector, the one who kept peace and made sure that no one overstepped their boundaries. Her power was unfathomable. You see, Sigil is the center of it all. You've heard it before. The City of Doors are connected to all places. Everywhere you could think of, there was a way to get there through Sigil. It held a certain importance to this end, and because of this, drew the interest of various parties. This did not exclude even higher beings, such as demigods, or perhaps even higher.
Oh.
And it was only the lady that saw to it that order was maintained, even when their interests percolated the edges of Sigil itself. She made sure that they were not even allowed to enter Sigil.
Oh dear. It sounds like you all really mucked that up, didn't you?
It wasn't us. It wasn't us. You've been mind controlled.
I know, I've heard.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't us like that. We didn't do this on purpose.
I know.
That's why we need to find whatever did this and right our wrongs.
Fair.
Then we are all on the same page. Whatever role or task was given to us holds, at least to me, the highest of importance. And as an arcane, I see this obligation through to its end. I am a deal broker by trade. It is in the arcane's blood to do so. I plan to see through it to its end. It just adds a certain magnitude considering that it was given by her Serenity herself. Perhaps in some way we will be, I don't know, discovering the lady's legacy.
Oh, jeez.
Heavy
Okay.
stuff.
Well, might as well take care of our shit now. That sounds like it's gonna be really dangerous.
Alicia turns and says, "Then it seems that there are 2 others outside of here that you all need to be aware of. This Cregan,
Uh-huh.
and as you mentioned, one of these thieves. Dietrich, was it?
Yes, and now maybe an organization. Don't know.
This
You might have-
organization.
This organization. Well, it's could possibly. It's the amount of people we knows we don't know. So there's that. I don't know. Whatever organization Diedrich wants to deal with. Whatever that means.
So he was part of a larger group then.
Yeah. I think he founded the Pioneer Patrollers. It doesn't matter. We don't know. Who all knows? We just probably maybe should not tell anyone anymore.
The
Like
name
that was-
seemed important. As I've heard, D&D founded the Pioneer Patrollers. Diedrich and Doran. But this was decades ago. He must have been incredibly old by the time you met.
I mean, he's kept himself. I mean, no, he didn't age. He's older, but he's not like a crazy mummy or anything.
The deeper interiors of the ship restrict the need for food, water, and age. Closer you get to its center. It is possible but that the aging of Diedrich was staved off by these effects.
Yes.
Though I'm sure it didn't serve his psyche any well-being.
Oh no, he was talking to people that weren't there.
Do you believe that we should be worried about either of these 2? Alicia says.
Well, now I'm worried, yes! Maybe not so much Cregan, he seemed okay with listening to us for the most part. But Diedrich, I have no idea. He seems kind of... I couldn't really get... Yeah, unhinged, or maybe now dangerous that he has his memory back.
Where is he now?
Don't know.
Nah, that'd be a knowledge check for me to remember.
Didn't he meet back up with his party? Was that?
He
is that
did.
one
He
thing
went back to the Pioneer Patrollers.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think he didn't seem that crazy last time we ran into him.
It may be a small problem if the Pioneer Patrollers are privy to more knowledge than the rest of the consortium. Remember what they want to do with those witch-like orders.
Diedrich helped to found the Patrollers, however. From what you're saying, Arcane, he in fact seemed to be working for someone else at the time of serving as a bodyguard. At least it sounds as if that was cover to some extent before he and this Doran could abscond with some type of important materials from within the ship.
Arcane Man, if you want to say the name, you go ahead. We have said that we're not going to say the name.
The 10th pit, they are known as the Peacekeepers. This information is a lot less valuable to me than keeping the secrecy of the mirror and our actual mission.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia turns and says, I don't believe I've heard of the 10th pit. Although Peacekeepers does sound somewhat familiar, but I've never dealt with them myself.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're kind
sorry.
of peacekeepers.
Alright, this is a take 10. I mean,
What?
I said sorry, this is a lot to take in, to Alicia.
Certainly it is. So, thinking about things, you're also the ones who are, at least as far as I'm aware of, currently engaged in a favor or agreement with the Billionaire Bastions. You run a show of sorts that you record through arcane means, is that correct?
Oh yes, it's made us rich.
It's a nice source of income for something we do anyway.
Rich
We
and
record our adventures.
Well, in the value of secrecy, I hope that you have not broadcast too much of this information to the rest of the Twixt.
We're
None of it.
usually pretty careful about that sort of thing.
We usually know we never when to turn the cameras off.
Oh, Xunkong, don't phrase it like that, please. We always know when to turn the camera off.
So when the camera does get, or when Rec does get something that is not supposed to see, we just do the easy thing and destroy it.
I see.
Then get another one. Say, oops, accident, wild knots, am I right? And then we get another one. And they never know.
They never know or suspect anything.
So,
We're really good at this.
things to keep in mind are these two other individuals who are out there and understand this information. You know them better than I. I would hope that you would be wary of the knowledge that they possess. The Arcane Man is not wrong. This information is a lot to take in. And at the same time, you may prove to gain allies by sharing it with certain individuals. I am certainly of the mind to maintain stability within the Twixt. It is my home, and thus seek to help you in your endeavors. However, it does make me wonder, this Mimir and whatever task it has for you next. I wonder what the end game is.
Well,
So do we.
Something we'll find out eventually, I think.
I see. Well, I have plenty of questions regarding the Mimir and this Lady of Pain that has come to mind. But I do also wonder what that is, and she points her finger at the massive spirit warrior sitting in the corner of the room. Or is that also information that is off limits?
No, that's it's my spirit warrior thing.
Yeah, it's a spirit warrior. You've never seen a spirit warrior before? What's wrong with you?
It's like a walking giant corpse that listens to the monkey boy.
It's like, it's currently just like in the corner of this room, hunched over because it'd be too tall for the ceiling. So it looks like it's almost like taking a shit in a corner with its back turned towards you.
Amazing.
Oh, Sunkong, call it over here. Hello? What did you name it? Does it have a name?
I don't think I named it.
Does one need
I don't know if I
name a
can get it
spirit
to look at us, I think.
It's sentient, Alicia says, and as she says this, the
Kinda?
spirit warrior slowly shifts its carapace covered face to the side to peer at you all.
Oh, hello, handsome!
But he can't really do much with that until myself and it was myself and my wife Ukog. We sort of mind meld thing with it.
Mhm.
Very scientific.
That's what I do.
I'm assuming that the others here on the ship are at least privy to some amount of information about these things that are happening with your overall goals. And you trust them all.
Well, the ones that we trust are the ones that know the information. The ones that we don't trust, we tend to try to not include in those conversations.
I see.
Kind of
Although a spelljammer of this seeming size, I would imagine you would at least need some on board, so I don't fault you there. This is an interesting turn of events. Sigil. How did I lose this memory? You said there was an event that happened that destroyed or got rid of Sigil?
Yes.
You could say that.
A big extravaganza,
It was an explosion, right?
I think.
Well, this event, was it caused by an entity or is it something we should still fear?
It was caused by... well, it was mind controlling by something big. It had its hands in all kinds of pots, and those pots were us!
What?
Well, me and Kaz were pretty bad guys. But not because we wanted to be. It was because we were being controlled by this thing or things.
I don't like anybody having their hand in my pot.
Yeah, I was...
So, some of you seem to have been manipulated, while others seem to have at least, even in their full minds, have been connected to this event then.
Absolutely,
Well,
I think
I was there. I was on Sigil, Glace, Linkaz,
Sun
and
Kong was protecting Rinkaz and actually what's his name? Krigan were trying to prevent something. Ileona was trying to kill me and Kaz. And Kaz listened and made something big and well, the events did the bad thing it did. We were all involved, but we...
It is unfortunate that Kaz passed. Perhaps we could have asked him the things that he received to do whatever machinations that were set foot through his mental manipulation. We could have found out where they came from.
Well, he told us a little bit, but there were purple gems, necklaces that we were wearing, both he and I. Those seemed to be the source of whatever was controlling us.
Wait,
the mind control, yeah.
the robot, the one he made for our ship, the pseudo AI. Kui, what's its name? Cats. You don't think he would happen to have maybe a small inkling of that part in his brain, perhaps, would he? I mean, it's a long shot, but he might. I mean, that's the last living part of Kaza. I mean, that and this rope that turns into a snake, which I don't think would be.
I don't think that counts.
Kui says it would only have information related to Kaz, depending on what Kaz told Cats.
Dear diary, today I don't know.
But from what it seems, Glace, with this whole thing that happened to you all, it seems like during the time that you were manipulated, it's as if it was difficult to remember those events, right? Like you were waking from some type of foggy bad dream?
We didn't know any of this until we spoke to the mayor.
Yeah, we didn't know what we had done.
Krigan knew this before all of us. He had the Mimir before us. That I don't know.
But even during your mind control, are you able to remember any of that?
Bits, pieces of things.
Yeah. We had like
Yeah.
we all had like dreams of what had happened, but like
Green-haired women. Remember that?
I wouldn't say they were memories. I mean, they are, but they aren't. It's almost like watching from the outside.
Green-haired women, Alicia says.
I was in a nice, big, luxurious bathtub, being all nice and comfy, and there was a beautiful bodyguard there. She had green hair. Oh, darling, she was something. And then Ileona tried to kill me. That's all I remember. But then I think I black belt her.
Where is Ileona?
Oh yeah, there's another person that knows.
She's retired on Relica.
Do you all believe that she, being another figure, would keep this information intact then?
We trust her.
Yes.
That's implicit.
She has a family now to protect. I don't think she would
trust
say
her
anything
implicitly.
I mean,
I don't think she would do anything to harm us.
No, she wouldn't do anything to harm us. I mean, I'm pretty sure she'd keep the information quiet. I think it's one of those things we all agreed to our grave kind of secret.
Until now.
Well, I see you have quite a monumentous task ahead of you all. You are not just wild knots scouring the Twixt to earn some type of living or build some type of wealth to retire early on, as most others are. Though I'm sure it doesn't hurt for you to make a bit of coin along the way.
Get some tattoos and gun mods and some cool stuff too.
I will of course keep this information to myself. As mentioned before, I am a neutral party in all of this. I stay here in the capital of Jaydra, but though I work with the Serenitels in some regards, I am not directly affiliated with them. The Astronomy Guild we are our own faction. We are known as Illuminators.
Illuminator.
So, you can entrust me with this information and that I will keep it a secret.
Well,
We definitely appreciate that.
you seem pretty connected to the stars, and you let us know important information. That was just up to you.
Which lights? We should probably speak of this later. I should probably return to my observatory. This gives me many things to ponder. Of course, I would love for you to escort me back. I'll pay for the ferry up. I would also be willing to offer some of my astral wares to some of you if you wanted to see them.
Where?
Well,
Would you
I
like
feel okay.
stuff?
I can go back. I can.
I also feel as though because of the things that you've shared, it would not be a bad idea to once again check your heartbeats as they beat with the Twixt itself. Perhaps I could gain more valuable information from this, or information to help you all. It is up to you.
This would be a first for me. I'm kind of curious.
Ooh.
I mean, you all know I've got some weird shit going on with my heart, so...
Yeah, I mean, you've got like you've got a lot of hearts, dude.
I was gonna say I don't have to go to get my heartbeat checked. You can just take ASOP.
Ha! It's true. I could just take Sun Kongs.
Yes, check our heartbeats.
Yes,
Sure.
let's
I guess
go.
let's go back. It should hopefully be safe by
I mean,
now.
do we think we should? I mean, would waiting here for maybe a night be beneficial or dangerous for things to cool down, or should we go now? Or
Oh yeah, that's right. We just killed a whole cult. Not a whole cult, like party members of a cult or whatever. But
I mean,
That are
maybe we
actively
can-
looking for me, by the way.
because Alicia has to go back now, right, Alicia?
Yes, my place is at the observatory.
I can escort her back and get back here, and then we can, like, if you guys want to rest up,
yeah, she would
maybe
be
if less of us go, we'll, or at least if maybe Invidi stays here, the rest of us should be okay.
Fair enough.
Sure.
So I can escort Alicia back for now, and then once we give it a little time, we can all go back and get our heartbeats checked or whatever.
Sounds fine to me.
Makes sense to me. If you don't mind, Sun Kong, I would be happy to have you escort me back.
All right. I need the communicator, please. Glacé.
Here you go.
Thank you.
And
should
should what?
should I go with him?
It's up to you. If anything, I can outpace, if I have to, I can outpace anything that comes to me.
That's
Well,
true.
Take this eyeball, and Fa, you look through your eyeball, and whatever you see, we'll see. So, you take that eyeball and keep it in your hand.
I open up my third eye and I put this one on my phone. I'm like, I've got 4 eyes now.
That's great, Sun Kong.
Brilliant.
Well, this has been quite a day. I'm gonna go to the vending machine and then go to sleep.
I'd like to join you then.
In sleep?
In sleep?
Oh,
Sorry,
it's not recon! We're all having a sleeping party.
Sleep
mean-
over and Ace up
Let's try to
you.
meet up in our dream.
Can we
What the
not
fuck?
do any of that? I would prefer not to do any of that.
My
Oh.
fucking computer crashed again. God, what the fuck is going on?
You know what helps me sleep? A trip to the vending machine and a drink from Triple D.
You know what? What the hell? I'll come with you for that. I'm coming around on this Triple D guy.
Yes. Also, I think I owe him some money for being here for a month. I don't know. I'll pay him.
Hey, bro, your bill is 5,000 gold.
All right, so
Who drinking contest.
who is escorting Alicia back first off?
I am.
All right,
I can't see roll 20 because my computer crashed, but
this is
Kemo.
D&D. You don't need to see.
yeah, exactly.
Kemo will go with.
Oh, you
Boy.
going too?
Yeah.
All right. You guys begin using the crystal communicator, voiping back outside of the ship, finding yourselves in the landing area, seeing a few other spelljammers aligned to the left and right in a row out in this clearing in a forested area. Begin heading your way back to Jaydra capital. Those of you still in the ship during this time, what do you guys choose to do?
I want to whip out 50 fucking weird bits and slap them into the machine.
Ooh,
I want to
that
join
machine can
him.
hold so many weird.
And if there's enough for a small gem, I would like to get one.
Aha! As a matter of fact, there is, and that leaves us with a staggering 5 weird bits. Perfect. Let's do it.
All right, hang on just a second.
Good luck, good luck, good luck.
This is the first of 2 open slots I have in my new masterwork arm.
Oh, that's right. Snazzy bird boy.
I'm gonna laugh so hard if it's cold resistance, which I already had from the boots I sold.
Hang on just a second. All right, let me see if I can find the gem document because Windows 10 search bar sucks absolute ass.
Preach and praise. Why can I not find control panel without digging?
The fucking worst. The search bar, I just want to throw it in the trash. Okay, hang on. I gotta download it. There we go. Oh, what do you know? It's the exact term that I searched for, but somehow couldn't find it. What do you know? You are putting 50 into it?
Yep.
Alright, and that is, hang on just a second, we'll pull up rolls, and that is under, let's take a look here, gems and masterwork gear. 50 is a uncommon gem, like a tier 3, so let's take a look here.
Oh yeah, we need to get with Lushy soon.
Yes, you guys all remember that you're overdue for some Lushy
Well, that last battle definitely.
stuff.
Be
Yeah,
worth
did
something.
we record the last battle? I think we did.
Yes. We've had Vec on for a little bit now.
I think we turned it off when we went into the hangar.
Yeah, that was like we haven't turned it off in a while before that.
Luke, please give me a D42 roll, please.
Yeah. Get it, boy.
18.
All right. You toss the weird bits into the gem Vendomatic. Hang on. A plopping sound rings throughout the vending machine, and down in a tray at the bottom, a orangish red gemstone plops
Nice.
out.
Matches my robe. Very cool.
You are, because you guys are probably just gonna spend the rest of the evening here relaxing, we can go ahead and say that you spend the 10 minutes to do like the identify magic thing. As you do this, you realize that this is an almandine garnet, and the magical effects of this particular gem, because it is on the tier 3 list, makes your strength become 19.
What?
Whoa, you're a strong bird!
Wait a minute, what was it? What was it?
I think we've got some hot 22 energy coming back, if you know what I mean.
Nerd rage.
Nice.
What was
Holy
it? I missed it.
shit. All right.
He grabbed a almandine garnet that is orangish red in color, and once socketed into a piece of masterwork gear, whether that is weapon or armor, his strength will become 19. As long as Aesop or whoever else dons this thing is attuned to it. Remember, any masterwork piece of gear has to be attuned to. Doesn't matter how many slots it has.
All I can see is Aesop in the hall, like on the elevator, being like, "You looking for the laboratory? It's right there."
No, I imagine like he wouldn't be able to like control his like 22 strong arm
Yeah.
anymore. It would just like keep bulging up for no reason. Well, this is quite fortuitous. I'm gonna get some real use out of this.
That's awesome.
And you wanted to put in 20 Rinkas.
I'll have what he's having.
All right then. I slap 20 in that machine. I
All
smash
right.
that like button.
Smash that like button. 20 is a common gem. Let's see here.
Hold on.
Please roll me a D41, Sunkong.
Rinkas.
Or, sorry, Ringcast.
Perfect. The machine blows up, we all die. Game over.
Spits out 20, you mean?
Man, what are the odds?
1 in 41.
Please tell me.
Yeah.
A soft blue gem clanks down to the tray at the bottom.
It makes like a whoopee cushion noise.
It's like it's a Jolly Rancher.
It feels like bags of sand.
You similarly, probably close to the same time as Aesop is just spending a little bit of time here in the elevator, taking 10 to suss out the magic properties of this gem here. You find out that it is a angelite gem with the properties of a shield once per short rest.
Whoa.
Oh shit! The spell shield.
The spell shield once
That's
per short rest.
So
That's
Pretty
awesome.
fucking dope.
Yeah, that's for. I guess like the one, like if you roll a 1 or a 41, it's probably really good because that's a pretty good spell for a common gem.
Yeah.
That's like plus what? Plus 2 or plus 3
Plus
for.
5 AC.
It is.
No,
as a reaction.
No,
Oh.
is it?
Yeah, it's plus 5
Yeah.
AC.
Incoming!
Yep. Plus 5.
Oh,
Invisible barrier of magical force appears and protects you.
Do you,
So start off your next turn. Plus 5 AC.
I don't know how to ask this question to Rinkaz in character. Do mechanically do you use a lot of reactions or no? Because that's pretty good for you.
I mean, I feel, again, like with similar gems, this would be good to the mass menagerie of melee we have. I mean, I could feel like you walking up with a 19 strength now and being like, I don't think so, and a big old shield coming up and protecting you. I mean, it would help me for close range. It's just to put on either my new rifle or my new revolver, which was replacing my old guns anyways. But I mean,
I think you should hold on to it.
Yeah, it works at range too.
Yeah. Like, imagine you're in a gun battle. Boom! Instant riot shield. All of a sudden.
You similarly, Rinkaz, also remember that the gem needs to be socketed to provide its effect, and you have to attune to that item. And remember, you can each attune to up to 3.
I'm so happy with my 19 strength. It's like I'm part 22 again.
That's a pretty fucking good one.
Yeah.
I need to look that up because I have a gem in the pistol. Cloak protection had a sky. Do you have to attune to the hat of disguise? D&D Beyond.
Think so?
Yes.
Like
It is a thing you have to attune to.
Let me double check then on the rest.
So yeah, just keep that in mind. There is a capacity with the attunement. But you can mix and match, of course. And if you guys find that someone else could make better use of a gem and a piece of their gear as opposed to yours, you guys have the opportunity to either try pulling it out yourselves, desocketing it, and switching, or you could find a merchant or tradesman who is proficient with a jeweler's kit that could try and attempt to do so. You may not want to do it on Relica.
I was gonna say, calm things back of the last time we tried that.
Aesop has already slotted in his strength gem and is flexing his 22 arm. Just, yes, this is great.
What did you slot it into, Aesop?
My new master armor.
Okay.
One that has 2 slots.
Awesome. Go ahead, Glosse.
Oh, if I'm gonna request that Sun Kong, while she's offering wares to him, to look at jeweler's kit for Class A, and I'll pay him back. If that's there. If it's not, then don't worry about it. Sun Kong.
Sure. No problem.
Aesop, did you just get an accent?
What?
You're sounding a bit different.
How do I do Aesop trying to do a Russian accent? Yes, he's very strong now. Strong bird.
Come, we drink vodka with Triple D.
He just takes his big 22 arm and pounds his ow. It still hurts.
Oh
Okay.
no. The Sealy.
This is the best timeline.
You, Aesop, and Rinkaz head over to the tavern, brewing, crafting area and find Dripple D setting some drinks down on a table to a relatively tipsy-looking Stray and Jashini that seem to be laughing, conversing with one another.
Nice.
Oh, Stray. She takes another sip.
Yes.
Dripple D turns and says, "Hey, what's up, guys?
Not
How
much, brother.
is it going?
You want to get down on this radical drinking party?"
Now and forever, my friend.
Actually, yes, for once.
2 and 2 becomes 4, and now we got a party on our hands. Kick it! He runs off to go grab more drinks.
I just imagine him like pointing in the corner, like he's like pointing at a camera or something. It's like, kick it!
Rek wasn't there the entire time.
Oh.
Wink.
He brings you guys out some alcoholic beverages from the stash that you guys have built up.
Some beverages.
Some beverages that you guys have stashed over the long period of this campaign. I'm sure you have some stuff stowed away, Rinkaz.
A couple kegs.
Just a few. No big deal.
You guys get your alcohol on and enjoy a couple of drinks along with Jashini and Stray, as well as it looks like Fa running into the room.
Drink.
Ah, you're here just in time. I want to propose a toast.
Oh, thank God you finished with toast. Okay, yeah.
To anybody on the ship that can hear this, I hit the communicator or the earpiece or the intercom, anything. A drink to finding our friend Kemo much larger and bigger, and to not frying our ass from 12 fireballs in a blind minefield.
Hooray!
To that.
Yeah.
While they are cheering, clinking their glasses together, and Dripple D is doing a devil sign in the background, looking at a camera that isn't there. Glace and Vidi, are you guys doing anything in particular while you get ready to take a little bit of time off for the evening?
Glace will probably just...
Glace, you could call Lushy.
Okay, yes. I will call Lushy and take care of that.
And
Alright.
Vidi, are you doing anything in particular while this is happening? Or are you just chillaxing?
Gonna lock myself in the room and try to contact other plane with the 5 questions that I posted.
Nice. Oh no.
Alright, so
Why not?
we'll handle that one at a time. Let's see here. Glace, you go to contact Lushy. Hang on just a second. He, as you go to contact him, appears in place of the globe and other orbiting objects around and turns to see you. "Oh, hello! It's been some time, Glace. What have you all been up to?"
Oh, we've been adventuring, same old. We got some good stuff for you, Lushy.
I'm glad you do, because, oof, I have been waiting for the next exciting episode.
Yes. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna tell you. You're just gonna have to watch it.
A surprise right off the bat, I see. Well, I'm delightfully intrigued. Send it on over, I'll take a look at it, and I may have some things of interest once we touch base again. Allow me some time to review, and I'll contact you soon.
Okay. All right. Oh, have you heard anything about my sister at all? Any luck?
Nothing. It is becoming quite worrisome.
Can I do an insight check on him?
Yes.
Nope.
Okay. That's a 12.
It's a little difficult to tell, but it seems like he's being honest.
Okay. Alright. Well, thanks for looking.
Of course. She's an important member here. We've essentially had to put our siege ball on hold. The tourney we were going to have. Until she is found. Though, of course, just in general, I hope she is okay.
Of course. Yes. I hope so too.
In the meantime, let me take a look at this footage, something to take my mind off of those things. I will continue letting you know if our search parties have found her at all.
Okay. Well, thank you. Spoiler alert, we get a brand new party member at the end. Bye!
Excellent, ta-ta. He disappears. NVD, you head off to your room to ask some questions? You now, walking through the hallway, realize that there is 2 more rooms at the far end before you get to the tavern and the poison crafting room.
Oh. Fascinating.
Do you do this similar thing as before, where you kind of get on your bed and kind of go to focus and stuff like that?
Yeah. If I can lock the door, it's fine.
You realize that there's no way to lock the door. It's simply, at least as far as you know, it is a steel door that has some thickness to it, but seems to just open and close as you approach. Probably by some magical means. Perhaps if there is a way to dispel magic, it could temporarily disable it, potentially?
Well, I can dispel magic, but then I can't contact other planes, so we'll just have to kind of add a juice here, so I'm just going to have to go with it.
Alright, so go ahead and make me that, I assume, sanity check.
It's a DC 15 int check, which I have no plus to int, and I'm going to use my inspiration.
Alright, fair enough.
Want to roll it?
All right. I did not hit 15.
So, can you tell me what happens if you don't?
You shit your pants.
On a failure, you take 66 psychic damage and are insane until you finish a long rest. While you're insane, you can't take actions, can't understand what other creatures say, can't read, and speak only in gibberish. A greater restoration spell cast on you ends the effect.
This is gonna be fun.
Bye, everybody!
He just turned into Mean Gene.
Oh my god, it's just Mean Gene.
That's practically gibberish, if not actually.
My goggles are geeks!
Oh, they are.
Okay, hang on. So let's do dice roller.
Want to roll it, or you want me to roll it?
You said how much damage?
6d6 psychic.
You take 23 points of psychic damage. And do you suffer any type of madness effect?
Yes. I am insane until I finish a long rest. While insane, you cannot take actions, can't understand what other creatures say,
Okay.
cannot read, and can speak only in gibberish.
So it's just those things. They're not an actual like table to roll from. Okay. You, similarly to before, NVD, sit down and open your book and attempt to contact this other place. at least as far as you know, trying to make a connection with the author. As you focus, welling the arcane energies within you, trying to, as they spoke about you before, be a conduit through your patron, you stare around the room for a focus, seeing Jaydra, and focus on him. As you stare at him, you notice the brightly light silverish color nature of his scales. And for a brief flicker, you see a blast of white hit your eyes, as if looking at the sun, but being right next to it. There is a blinding radiance. And as you stare in it in awe, you can just make out the faintest outline through the brightness of a creature with 4 long clawed appendages, a massive swinging tail, and what looks to be large, incredibly bright, mind-shatteringly bright wings. This image hits you very hard in the mind. You are not prepared to see something like this. You aren't able to fully come back and find your mind almost shattered by the image of this thing that you saw. You felt like you screamed, and from there everything else becomes unintelligible. You now suffer from these effects.
Would I recognize it? Or can I even ask a question?
I mean, as a player, of course.
But did VD recognize that as the first time he grabbed the tome?
Make a high or low roll and call it.
Hi.
Before your mind slips away from you, despite the just blaring radiance of this figure, or maybe even this place, because it just surrounded all of your vision, it did hold some similarity to that thing that you saw when you first grabbed the tome. And then you go crazy. Aesop, Rinkaz, Fa, all of you guys make perception checks.
Oh,
Is she
man.
just mean Gene now?
That's a great
Disadvantage
question.
because they're drunk.
Oh
Disadvantage
yeah,
'cause
can
they're
we be drunk?
Oh no!
Well, let me ask this: how much have each of you guys been drinking?
After that last battle, probably a lot.
At least
All
one or
this.
two, I mean, within the time period.
Because Rinkaz mentioned Kemo in a toast before we started drinking. A lot.
Con save to see if I'm drunk?
Yeah, I'm super drunk.
Aesop's new arm is just shoving them down his throat.
I'm gonna say a con save for you, Rinkaz, as well as both Aesop and Fa. However, for Aesop and Fa, because you guys have been drinking more excessively, it's a disadvantage.
Do I need to roll again?
Yeah, not that it'll probably matter for Aesop.
All right, here's disadvantage for the perception check. Holy shit, that's a good perception check.
Well, hang on. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's take a look here. So before we factor in the perception checks, what was your roll, Rinkaz? 27 overall? Oh,
Yeah.
Holy shit. You have a pleasant buzz that fills your head, and not too much more. You're able to hold down your liquor, and you weren't drinking excessively. Give me a D4 plus 2 roll from both you Aesop, as well as you, Fa.
The only thing
Two.
in strength that could match him right now is off the ship.
Fa, you have similarly a pleasant buzz in your head, but your perception is dropped by 5.
Oh.
And your coordination wanes, so you have disadvantage on strength, dexterity, and constitution checks.
Oh my god. Jesus.
My body is poisoned.
Aesop, you have all of these effects, but
Oh.
your word slur, as you have disadvantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma checks. You have poor balance, which gives you disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, and your speed is halved.
We're all just gonna be a bunch of gibbering idiots.
Actual blithering idiots.
So, with that in mind,
Sorry.
it was disadvantage, so the 14, but with the -5, so that's a 9 from Aesop.
No, that's. I took my -5 off mine. So mine's a 14.
Okay.
So,
What's my perception check?
What did you roll, Rinkaz, for perception?
I didn't roll it because I was praying to see that everyone else passed. Okay.
Nope, buddy. Unfortunately not.
I got a good perception, and this is when I roll a 1.
Oh.
19 total? Do I hear a blood-curdling scream 2 rooms over?
It's a bit of a raucous time here in the tavern, along with Aesop and Stray and Jashini, who seems particularly extroverted after she gets a bit of spirits in her, more so than usual. Everyone seems to be having a good time, making jokes and a couple probably stabs at one another, but in a friendly manner, as they enjoy their drinks. You have a slight buzz in your mind. However, yes, you do pick up the faint sound of what sounds like a scream that comes to a quick halt coming from down the hallway.
It's all fun and games till the warlock stares into the eyes of God.
Do you do anything, or do you just continue drinking?
I look around and say, guys, I think we should check that out. That's coming from one of the rooms down the hall.
yeah. Tell me what to do.
Better yet, you guys stay here. Glosse?
Let's move
I
this
sound
party
intercom.
down the hall.
Yes, Rinkas.
Oh, Rinkaz, you're so big and strong. Why don't you check it out?
Glosse?
Where's Inviti?
Oh, wait, no. Oh, no.
Are you with Jacini right now? Does Nvidi know about this? Oh, scandalous.
Oh,
Everyone's
hello,
drunk.
Glace.
God.
Hello.
Oh, she's really close there, isn't she?
Yeah, she smells of the desert and perfume and cheap alcohol.
Sexy. I'm getting in on this. What, was that what you wanted? Me to get on this?
Yes? No?
Oh, wait, no?
Hallway.
You're giving me
Trump-
mixed signals.
Where's
Oh.
Inviti?
We're gonna go check him now because I think he's screaming from his bedroom. He might need help.
What? Okay. Glace will start going towards the hallway.
Jashini stumbles out and begins to follow you guys.
No.
So
And this is
fucking
where her
listen.
story ends.
So let the door hit you.
Anyway, I started blasting.
So anyway, it started blasting.
You know these effects, NVD, so if you want to roleplay them out, you are more than welcome to. Or you could also bring Stray along and roleplay him.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
What on earth are you?
This is gonna be difficult.
You maybe had a little too much to drink. Everything's okay.
Come on, Stray, let's go find Inviti. She seems to hold two hands on your shoulders, walking behind you, Rinkaz.
Yeah.
Zsa Zsa Gabor, Snoop Dogg, and Mean Gene Okerlund all walk into a bar.
Aesop and Fa exit the tavern and just stare at each other's eyes drunkenly. Aesop, you remember that you have a kick-ass plant that can duplicate items in your fucking alchemy room.
Let's feed it beer.
Duplicate them. How many do you get after you duplicate?
I lean in really close to go. Infinity.
That's like more than you need. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Show me the way to go, clone.
Any college party, wrangling my friends.
Glacé.
And I want to make two
What on earth
beds.
is wrong with everyone?
Rinkaz. Glacé, it seems like there are, besides Rinkaz, who you can smell the stench of alcohol in his breath, but he doesn't seem as impaired as, like, practically everyone else.
Okay, well, Fa and Aesop are gonna go make bad decisions.
They push past you guys, heading off to what seems to be maybe another room on the ship, but you're unsure. However, you two... you and Rinkaz step up to Nvidi's room, and the door kind of shifts to the side as you approach. As they step in, what do they see, Nvidi?
Nvidia is probably sitting upside down on the bed, like leaned like back over the side, legs on the bed, body on the floor.
Did you guys
He's not eating Jiro. We're not doing that. It's not canon.
Did you give him something to drink?
No, we came to the bar to have a few drinks, and maybe he was in here working with this book or relax. I don't know.
Oh, Nvidi!
Oh, no, I grab her. You stay out here with the big...
Glacé, check on Nvidi.
I'm good, girl. I will check him good and well.
He's sitting upside down.
Yes, he is.
No, you're just upside down, Jashini. It's okay.
Oh. She puts a hand up against the steel locker next to her.
You do smell quite deserty and... Oh, get out of here!
I'm enjoying myself. Come on, Stray, let's go have some fun somewhere else.
Yeah, it's a good idea. We gotta sip a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
That plant of yours, you said, was done growing in the garden?
Oh,
Everyone's just using everything.
Y'all don't parasail. It's a surefire way to have that time.
It's the perfect way to have a good time.
Could not disagree
Parasailing?
more.
Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Yeah. Good.
drunk and high. You're on a ship and away up high.
Jashini and Stray lumber down the hallway off to what
Everyone's
sounds like the
having
garden.
Fun! Everyone's
Parasailing
having
is the
fun
only
making
way to
bad
stay.
decisions. Why are we in here? And Vidi, what are you doing?
You have to take.
The guests have arrived!
And Vidi,
Get out of my store! What are you doing here? Where's the contract? What?
and
Jiro
Jira,
looks over at you all.
what did he do? What did you do? Is it good or bad?
5 minutes to airtime. We gotta
Okay,
go. Where's the
bad.
plane?
Vidi?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Can you see me?
I
You're
can-
on air. You gotta go. You're not here. You're
Oh,
there.
no,
You gotta
I'm
go.
Performer! You're my manager, remember?
Ha! I got everybody. You have to leave right now.
And Vidi,
Mean Gene, have you seen Nvidi?
Only the best. Only the best. 100% right here at all times. Bye.
Oh. Well, we need you in the... I looked at Glossy. The tech room to get everything ready for the show.
And Vidi stares at you, still slumped upside down, and as he says bye, it almost is a look on his face as though he's going to go somewhere, and he goes nowhere.
can I do a medicine check on him?
Of course.
I mean, I've seen this happen a few times when we partied hard, but I don't know. Ooh, that's actually gonna be a 17.
Okay. It is a... somewhat of a familiarity to you, Glace. It seems as though you get the sense that something may have happened to his mind. You remember that way back, quite a few months back, probably, at least a couple, that Sun Kong was mentally impaired by a powerful spell that seemed to render him into a very defunct state. And Vidi doesn't seem to that level, but it certainly seems like his mind has been impaired by something. And you do remember him saying that the last thing he was going to do was to try and attempt to contact his patron.
Oh.
You probably now put two and two together and realize that this is part of the reason he initially wanted you all to make sure he didn't stumble out of his room as a raving lunatic at some point.
Get wreck.
Are you sure?
Get him.
God, no.
I use all of my actions to run and go grab Rek.
You grab Rek and pull it into the room. It peers around and focuses on Nvidi sitting upside down.
The show has begun. As you said, Nvidi, you're on air, my friend.
Oh, let's go! Yes! Leave right now. Okay, we're gonna make it happen. Let's go. Airtime. Leave.
Okay, we're gonna leave. You enjoy Rek on air.
The lights and sounds are phenomenal.
Okay, all right. Don't do rituals, kids. Oh, Jira.
Don't spoil the plot. Don't spoil the plot. Don't look in the book. Don't spoil the plot.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. Maybe this is a little more serious. Can I? Is this Jira? Can I come pick Jira up, or does he afraid?
No, you're able to pick him up.
Okay, I want to pick him up and pet him and kind of it's gonna be okay. Daddy's just
Live animals on set. I don't care.
He's just a little lost right now. I don't have anything that can help him. The Aesop is drunk and probably destroying something right now, and Nvidi was our healer, so I think we're just gonna have to sit this one out. Is there something we can put him to sleep with? Do you have a sleep?
24 hours a day, all day, every day, no sleep. Sleep right now.
I hit the comm on my ear or speak to it and say, Aesop, do you remember the sleepy juice that you made for the Tarat?
Shh. I'm making platinum.
Meanwhile, while this is happening,
Who are you talking to?
Fa, Aesop, you guys have entered your rooms. Hush turns and gives you a wave.
Hello.
Hey,
Daddy has very important business.
You see the smile from her beak slightly fade.
Oh no, Jason, it hurts.
Dead of the year.
She looks over to Fa and then pulls her chalkboard up and says, have you been enjoying yourself? And holds it up.
yes.
She does that slow nod and just wipes it off and says, y'all have fun.
Oh,
And
this is so fucking embarrassing. As a player.
there's almost a smirk on her face as she leaves, and she just leaves you guys to your whims and heads out.
We're here to look at Aesop's bush.
So
Aesop turns towards the door, which Hush has already closed. Hush, look how fucking strong I am now.
the door is closed behind you.
All right. What's the biggest thing you have that we could turn into platinum?
Aesop, you hear over your intercom, your earpiece, Rinkaz call and say what he said a second ago.
Shh, we're making platinum.
And then what he asks you this, Fa, do you have anything of use? You guys could attempt to make checks to remember how the plant works, or you don't have to. You could just stick things to the plant.
You put two things together. Oh, I have an idea. You can take a platinum piece and the wand of wonder.
Me.
The wand of wonder is worth. It's bullshit. It's worthless. But if it was made of platinum, we could sell it.
Wow, we could sell the platinum.
But the platinum will still be platinum.
I get what you're saying.
So then we have more platinum.
I'm into it.
Okay.
We should do it.
I need to remove Kemo's brain from my inventory. That's not there
Do it
anymore.
now.
Hey,
Okay.
Kyle, whenever you want, send me the new chemo sheet.
Because
So-
you're about to die.
I can, and I also need to update your Twitch statistic to take you off of being brained.
Yeah. I have been doing it on D&D Beyond throughout the session, so they're both up there now.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Aesop, you're going to touch a platinum piece and the wand of wonder to the alchemy plant.
This plant's gonna explode.
You touch the one end of the plant with the platinum coin. The other side you touch with the wand of wonder. Nothing initially happens. However, in your drunken state, the wand of wonder does activate. I need you to roll me a D100, please.
Oh, good. This fucking plant is broken.
Wonder what happened.
42!
42, like the sex number.
You both just say 42 out loud, apropos of nothing, because in the universe, there's no 42 whatsoever. 42!
42!
What did we drink from Triple D again?
You guys, what did they drink, Rinkaz? What did you have left over in the stock?
It was some of the medium and the high priced from. One was from Neo Gokyo, one was a cask from the planet that we tried to do the blood gold heist from.
Okay, so we drank a bunch of high grade alcohol. Like shit that you should probably save for company. We just
And we had a bunch of rot gut stuff that was for Schlev.
Oh,
please
no.
tell me
Good
we just
shit.
mixed it all together in a punch bowl. Like,
Punch punch.
Punch.
all right,
Oh,
42,
no.
Jason.
Aesop, you touch the far end of this wand of wonder, this rod to the plant itself. A bolt of lightning shoots out from the wand, and you watch as the alchemy plant ignites in flame. A chunk of it just blown straight off as the bolt shoots down to the south end of the room and cackles as it smashes into the steel wall and bounces across the room, scaring the shit out of both of you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, Fa. At disadvantage because you're
I
drunk.
was gonna say, my drunken stumble dex plus. It's 24.
Oh my god.
Oh, still pretty good. Still pretty good.
Plant's not supposed to do that. Is it supposed to be on fire?
You take 19 lightning damage as it dissipates after hitting you in the waist.
I roguey roll off of it. 18.
Okay.
10.
Jason, seeing that it is currently on fire,
A probably a good 30, maybe 40% of it has just been blown just apart from the blast of lightning striking through it, and a large majority of the rest of it is just lit aflame.
hold on, I have this.
Press it. I can snuff flame instantly.
You
That's
What do you
right.
use to do that, Fa?
Prestidigitation. It's used for exactly that.
Fa, with a wave of her hand, Aesop, you watch as the flames covering the plant, not too long, a few seconds after they begun, as Fa is recovering from a dodge of this bolt of lightning, throwing a hand out, you watch as the flames dissipate from the plant. It looks singed, but not too badly burnt from the fire. However, there is a sizable chunk of it missing.
Well, that was not a great idea. In retrospect.
Glosse, Rinkaz, you guys both hear the sound of what just sounds like thunder through your earpieces.
I literally cannot do not even one of you right now. How? What are you doing? What's happening?
Okay,
Kitchen, time to eat. Hell yeah.
No. Oh no! Wait, no.
Be in catering. Gotta go.
Little whoopsie.
That didn't sound like a little whoopsie.
It was a little.
Did you sign the contract?
Yes.
Party
Read it over. Don't look in the book though.
Okay.
I
Aesop.
I may have partially destroyed most of the arcane.
Okay, well that's angering, but
I tried to turn the wand of wonder into.
what? Aesop! Oh, Boss?
I want to sell it because it's bad luck, because whenever we try to use it, something bad happens.
Scene doesn't cause for anger at all.
Don't worry, Arcane Man. 3 people that know secrets of the universe are loose. We're blowing up the ship. Everyone's drunk, and the Warlock thinks that he's a producer for a new TV show. Everything's good. Trust us. We will save every.
As you are sort of like in a sarcastic tone saying this, you hear footsteps down the hall. As turning the corner, the arcane man appears at the open door and looks at the events and says,
Is everything alright?
No. I think
Talent on set. Talent on set. Let's move.
I think he's looked into something that he wasn't supposed to look into.
I see. Is everything under control?
No.
No.
We have a few situations going on. Can you help him?
Pan wide. Multi-shot. Pan wide.
Pan wide, that's right, NVD. Can you either put him to sleep or help him out of this?
Put him to sleep permanently.
I do not have anything currently on me to put him to sleep. However, I can leave him in his room and watch over it for the time being.
Okay, please make sure he doesn't harm himself or do anything crazy.
Is there no other member of the crew, or perhaps one of those extra gentlemen or women you brought in that could perhaps do this task?
I will find out. Oh, old Ganny might.
Maybe.
Minoki might have some sleepy stuff too. I'll go find out. Or the helper's hand. Hey, do you any of you know how to put somebody to sleep or heal them from an insanity trip?
Mogdramon turns to you and says,
I know one way of putting people to sleep.
Okay, well, non-violently, because he's our friend.
Then no.
Okay.
Crossover episode.
Cecil
What?
turns to you and simply shakes his head no.
Okay, Cecil. Alright. Well, don't panic. I'm not panicking.
Hear the dog. I'm gonna go talk to Triple D and give him my inspiration for sleep.
You're going to talk to Triple Tree. Okay, great. I'm sure that's fine. But I don't whatever.
You step over to the tavern, Rinkaz, and Triple D is still pounding a drink himself, and Hush turns to look at you and then back at a book that she's reading, and Triple D says, "Whoa! Hey, what's up, Rinkaz? Hey!" He throws an arm over your shoulder. "Hey,
What about some gold, my friend?
How about I promise you what I owe you?
I've been high and dry. What?
Extra money. Extra money. Do you know how to put someone to sleep? Like, just not. Do you have a special drink just to knock them out? I mean, I'm not talking about drunk knockout. I mean, I'm talking about, like sleepy bedtime. You're a little too crazy. I look to Hush and kind of give a half smirk and apologize.
The shit I make is mostly experimental. We could probably put somebody or something to sleep eventually, but they're gonna have to drink a lot. Another party!
I want to walk over to Hush and start writing on a chalkboard while he does this.
Okay.
I'm just gonna write, can you help us heal Invidi or put him to bed? He's crazy right now, by the way.
She reads the chalkboard and just looks at you and shrugs.
Okay. Damn it.
I raised him bed. I don't fucking say that.
Glace, let's take a look here real quick. Hang on, I'm just checking.
We have an arcane man! You're big and blue and you're arcane! How do you know? Hell! You're all mysterious and ooh, I know lots of things but can't say them, but I can't put anyone to sleep or heal them.
Builds experimental ship. Can't put someone to sleep.
Ooh, I know all kinds of magics. Yeah, but not those.
Very harsh on the arcane man.
He turns to you and says, my apologies.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, not sorry.
I have been locked away, unfortunately, unable to free myself for some time.
True.
Typically within this time frame I'm able to procure helpful items, but unfortunately I lost a bit of time because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Please forgive me.
I guess. I'll forgive you this time.
Lightning doesn't strike twice. I shouldn't say that because he's going to blow something up. What could Lizzie eat the insanity out of him?
Let's not do that.
She feeds on emotions.
No. We like Invidi. We don't want to do that to Invidi.
I wonder if insanity is an emotion.
We're not paying overtime. Gotta wrap up shop.
That's right. Wrapping it up real quick.
Magdramon turns and says, you want me to stay outside? Keep eye out for him.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to tell Kui to ask everybody on the ship if they either know how to peacefully put someone to bed or heal them of possibly madness of sorts.
Kui waits a couple seconds and you hear back over. Well, she would probably just apparate to you and say, Stray did have an idea.
Okay. Let's hear it.
This certain plant that they've been growing.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, if he's able to consume enough of it, it would more than likely put him to sleep. That's what Jashini and Stray are saying, at least.
I'll go get. Okay. That's what we have, so we'll work with it. All right. I'll go get the whatever they're offering.
You go and pick a few leaves of the Ghost Ganga plant. How do you ready it for Invidi to consume?
Man, this is the medicine right here.
You
could probably make a nature check. You could probably technically make maybe like a medicine check. Maybe.
Can I just ask Stray to make this thing for me so I can just deliver it to him?
Stray has proficiency. Stray, how would you prepare this for someone else to imbibe?
Oh yeah, the man made the medicine, so we're gonna split it real quick, and we're gonna make it for beginner. You want to do the whole thing?
No, the whole thing. We want him to go out
Yeah,
fast.
you can't do too much of this medicine. Yeah, so I got more of it, but I
You
gave
all were such worrywarts about this drinking, but I see now what you were waiting to do.
What does that mean? Waiting for what?
girl, chill, girl. Now we good.
Okay.
I got this. You just.
Where's
you just
Inviti?
You just relax. Nah, he busy, girl. You with me right now?
Can we do a medicine check or a make brownies check?
Why you hang out with that dude anyway?
What
what you need
what
right
do you
here.
end up handing to Glosse?
Probably just some sort of it's like a pipe.
God. Have you ever seen
like,
a cross joint?
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Some intricately woven, like 14 corkscrewed, like.
It's like in the shape of a lightning bolt.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Wow.
This reminds you of a majestic, Glosse, but you get the sense because you've imbibed some of this before that it is not the same.
About the size of your wrist around.
Holy shit. Okay. Right. Thank you, Stray.
Stray, you're giving that much
You know I
away?
got you. Yeah, we got more than that. You know
going
I got it. You know I got enough for you. You can just relax. You
All
gotta chill.
right,
You gotta
okay.
chill. Come here. You gotta chill. Hey, Sparkles. Yeah, we good. I get you.
Right. Thank you, guys. Have fun.
Oh yeah, that's all we do out here is have fun.
Aesop, Fall, are you guys doing anything else besides this excursion?
It's time to try round 2.
How about this so you can see?
Alright. One is a piece of trash.
Yes.
Alright.
Oh, let's make it combine it with trash.
Oh no!
I have. Oh goodness. I think I need to lay down.
I got this big old ball of bags. Ball bearings.
Ball bearings.
Yeah, like maybe we make those platinum. We can squash them into a disc and then we could use it for a coin.
Oh my goodness. Let's do it. Okay. Alright.
It's illegal tender.
Alright. Legal tender. That's right.
I said illegal. But I'm drunk sounding, so.
It's a legal tender.
It's
Alright.
illegal tender.
Change that to peace, and then sober Aesop would realize this isn't going to work, but he takes the full bag of ball bearings and he presses it onto the tree.
Oh shit.
Drunk children in a room full of 1,000,000 ball bearings with a priceless plant.
Well, I'm glad I did these, not the caltrops then.
Montage.
Do we have any idea what a single ball bearing would weigh?
Nothing.
All right.
I guess it's the difference between steel and platinum is what you're getting at.
Well, just the general weight of a single one. You put one platinum piece to one end of the plant that's still intact, and the other just a handful of ball bearings scrunched against the plant.
Talking about it.
Make a high or low roll, but it's a disadvantage.
You have your thing. Your
What? That makes it easier. Oh.
You do have your inspiration.
I'm gonna fucking use that inspiration.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna do heads or tails. I call 1 or 2. I'm gonna call 2.
Oh no.
You watch as the platinum piece turns to the same silverish material of one of the ball bearings.
Oh. You got him backwards. You're supposed to put your right hand in it. That's the copy.
Fall Ray Tomatoes, I think I broke the plan.
I think What?
I think I broke the plan.
I think.
When the wand of wonder did the thing, I broke the plan.
I was just on a loop, I think. What? She starts to think, but then stops thinking, and then says, what?
Redemption arc, disappointment.
I need to go to bed because
That sound.
You watch as Aesop just drops the wand of wonder and just stumbles out of the room.
Yeah, literally, the
The ball bearings just scatter across the floor.
And the wand of wonder just drop them all on the floor and leave.
Hey, stop! You left me on an island. Hey, stop!
You go to step out of the room and just smash into your face, falling from the various ball bearings on the ground.
I think Aesop gets to the sink to wash his face and falls asleep.
I don't think Fall picks herself up that.
The floor is cold. It's nice. You fall asleep.
This is where I live.
Glosse, you come back with a very large looking rolled up piece of this ghost Genga.
God, this is the worst session.
Casting call already? Alright, tell me what you got.
No, I understand that it's
What's your talent?
I'll gently sit on the bed, and I think we're supposed to light this up.
Earning your keep already? Alright. Smells like creativity and imagination in here.
I wanna light it up, and alright, and VD now.
I refuse to lose. Give me that.
Okay, alright, you take that.
He grabs it out of your hand.
This is your inspiration. This is the way it goes. Do this piece by piece. Follow my lead. This is exactly the inspiration you need for your part.
You show me how it's done, then.
Don't get it wrong.
I won't. You just give me the example.
Do you take a big puff from this, MVD?
Oh yeah.
All right, give me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
Disadvantage +2.
This has been a delightful train.
10.
Well, I would explain this to NVIDIA, but NVIDIA's already fucking crazy. So, Glosse, you just watch as NVIDIA just continues breathing in. You see the flare of the lit end peel back, and you smell this pungent smell that you smelt before when you guys first laid hands on this plant and tried to consume a bit of it. You guys just rolled up some. They were fairly hefty, but they were like single fatty majestic level versions. He is smoking something probably 4 times that, and you watch as he in one breath takes in nearly a quarter of it.
Okay.
He breathes through his nose and coughs a bit and just stares at you for probably like a good 30 seconds.
Really?
And then just falls face first into the bed.
Oh, okay. All right. I will take this, and I'll I've worked hard today. I'm gonna finish this.
Be responsible with that.
I blow smoke in his face.
Wow.
That's not very responsible.
Okay, boomer.
Damn, dude.
I will continue watching the door, Madramon says.
Okay, Madramon.
Cecil bows to you.
Oh, how kind.
Clatter follows you.
What a good boy. What a good boy you are, Clatter.
Rinkaz, are you doing anything else over with Triple D?
Finding a god and praying.
You are able to pick up what is going on your earring of communication with all of this, by the way.
I grab a fairly weak alcoholic beverage and sit down next to Hush and just quietly nod and say, "Hey, this is fine. They've got this under control."
She writes on her chalkboard and just turns it to you and it says, "No, they don't."
Oh.
Triple D stumbles over to the chair to the other side of the room and looks to you all and says, I'm gonna take a little nap. And goes to sleep. Sun Kong, you are outside of the ship along with Kemo, and you are escorting You're escorting Elysia back to the Astronomy Guild, the observatory. You have to make your way back through
Downtown.
the ruinous outskirts to get to the city. As you're moving your way through, it's still brightly lit here. You're not sure if there's a nighttime, as a matter of fact. As you're making your way through, both you guys, you wouldn't need a check to do this, just with your passive perception checks. You both spot will look to be a number of, they look like humanoids, but they're made completely from wood. They look like some type of tree folk or something. Along with them, there's probably 4 of them. On the other side of the pathway that takes you through the ruinous outskirts, there seem to be 2 or 3. They look like centaurs. They all are wearing clothing that bears a resemblance, and you would have seen this, Kemo, within the city itself. They seem to be some type of like guards or something that are from the Jaydra capital. If you guys continue on this path without trying to do any stealth or anything, you're likely to pass them by and they'll notice you. So do you guys want to just pass on through, or try to be stealthy and move by them? What do you want to do? You guys also hear a just voluminous amount of hijinks going on back on the ship.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Cuba's long since taken his earpiece out. What do you think?
They seem to be speaking with one another. It's as if they're almost kind of scouting and taking a look around the area.
I mean, we should be okay. I'm pretty good at stealth, and I can pass without trace.
And that's a plus.
10.
I guess we can try to be a little. We don't have to bring attention to ourselves.
So if you guys are going to try to be a little stealthy, you know that the outskirts here have various, ruined pieces of pillars and stonework that you could try to work your way through, as well as there's still a couple of trees and bushwork through here. Even though it's relatively open, you could try to kind of curve off the main path here in the outskirts and just work your way around, staying behind some of these items to kind of avoid the general view of the guards if you'd like. But I need a stealth check from both of you.
Okay.
With a wave of Kemo's thick Goliath hand, you guys feel your steps become more light, and the pitter-patter sound underneath your feet seems to all but dissipate into silence.
Oof.
Kemo moves silently under those big feet.
Oh, yeah.
True total, Sun Kong, that's at least 20.
25.
All right. Both of you in tandem working your way behind as many objects as possible, just trying to keep out of the general eye of the Jaydra guards, these centaur figures and these tree folk looking characters. As far as you know, as you move past, you kind of keeping an eye on them in the distance didn't seem to draw any of their attention as you pass by successfully. Elysia is in tow, but with your guys' good checks, she is able to be helped across and just follows along, keeping relatively stealthy. I suppose it'd be more trouble than it's worth, she says.
What?
No, never mind. If you don't mind, if you'll escort me, I would assume that you are all going to stop by tomorrow, if you'd like.
Yes.
Good. Well, get your rest and come back then. I will make some free time in my schedule for you.
Who were those people back there?
That is a question for your friend Inviti. Or are you talking about the folks that were back there, the woodmen.
Yeah, the woodmen.
They are woodwodes, a security force of the Serenitels, as well as the centaurs. They serve as the general guards here in the capital. More than likely dispatched by you all when you called Twee to send some out to survey the area after the attack.
Of course.
Probably wouldn't cause you all any trouble. You're the one who put in the call, but perhaps more questions than it's worth answering, she says.
Yeah.
No questions, Harry.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
That was nothing.
Sun Kong, Kemo, you're able to successfully bring her back to the Astronomy Guild, the observatory. She helps pay for the ferry of the Dire Pigeon up and down, wishes you well, and says that she will meet you with the rest of the group tomorrow. You, Sun Kong, and Kemo return to the ship. Is there any last minute, I'll bring your guys' tokens back here, is there any last minute RP that, because we've kind of skipped you two characters at least, that you'd like to do upon returning to the ship, Sun Kong and Kemo?
I would...
Your
Sun
tokens
Kong
are in the mission control right now.
Sun Kong would offer, if Kemo needs a sparring partner, but otherwise, I would probably just try to see what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
At least 4 different types of illegal drugs.
We could do that.
Glosse, Sun Kong, you find 2 of the helpers' hands standing guard in front of Nvidi's rooms. You hear nothing coming from Glosse's room, other than the occasional, what seems like exhale, a subtle exhale. You're not sure where Fa is. You're not sure where Aesop is. You find Rinkez taking a couple sips from an alcoholic beverage, along with Hush in the tavern room. You also run into your wife at the meditation pools, and she greets you.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Looks like someone murdered Fa and murdered Aesop in the bathroom.
You both kind of look dead. Well, I had to keep up with the monkey, so I'm gonna go to bed. Too fucking fast.
Rinkez, you see Sun Kong stepping in.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, how's everything going in here? Seems kind of quiet,
buddy.
Triple D is drunk and VD may be insane. He's stuck in Mean Gene mode and we don't know how to reset him. Fa and Aesop got drunk and I think they blew up the duplication plant. Glosse is having an existential crisis, and I think Sugar is in the meditation pool, hopefully not urinating in it.
Oh no, he's a good kitty. But oh wow, that sounds like you guys had fun.
Sure.
And BD stuck as Mean Gene?
I don't know how to fix it. I whisper quietly, the arcane man is no effing help.
Well, I mean, I guess Fa and Aesop okay now?
Probably hungover.
Well, I'm gonna probably turn in then.
Oh, okay. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about them, right, Hush? I mean, that's a bird thing, right? They regurgitate a lot, so your dad's probably.
She looks at you, and then you now notice that she is babying her own alcoholic beverage and just takes a swig as you say this.
Oh my
Takes
God.
I smile and raise my glass to her and say, Sun Kong, why don't you join us for a nightcap?
I don't see why not.
She clinks her glass to yours, and you share a beverage. pulling it from one of the several pockets out of Dripple D's assortment, and you each take a drink.
So,
That's a good place to wrap this episode up, I think. Well, that was on track there for a while, but then just quickly devolved into insanity.
Literally.
Quite literally, yeah.
Quite literally. I love how Sun Kong going through this like traumatic experience himself hears this happen to him and he just laughs.
immediate responses. Oh, she's good. She won't pee in the pool. What else is new?
Nervous laughter. Oh, I'm sure it's fine.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he'll be okay, or we can check him in the morning. Maybe he just needs to sleep it off. That's what I do when I feel bad.
I imagine that Fa's gonna wake up and she's gonna like wake up with like ball bearings on one side of her face.
I think about it, but yeah.
Rolls down the hallway.
Yeah, they're like spewing out here.
Gonna be picking ball bearings out of your hair for weeks.
Chatter goes into the bathroom to read his magazines and he sees like Aesop, like the water's running and it's running.
Aesop's head is under the water.
Yeah, just little bubbles.
Oh fuck.
Guys, we did it. I'm not sure what it was we did, but we did it.
That was a session that just happened.
Successfully did.
You guys had this huge responsibility thrust upon your shoulders, and you all get immediately extremely drunk and high. That's
The disrespect of
Look, we know how to self-medicate, okay?
Yeah.
just relax.
These are judgment.
I can't believe it all happened at once, though. Jeez.
Thank you everybody hanging out with us and watching this Cockamania episode. Thank you, husband and wife stream. Go check them out. That's Slim/Brian/husband stream. He does a whole bunch of games, the kind of shit that I probably should do more often but never do, and just do this once a week. So they do a lot of cool stuff, and his wife does a whole lot of cool stuff herself, cross-stitching, fun stuff. He also paints minis, which is really cool, so a lot of variety there. Go check them out, husband and wife stream. Thank you Soundwave87, Virgo, Pros, and Windsock for coming by, and Commander Root. He's a robot, but what the hell. Thank you. Remember, as you guys are building up points, you can use them for cool stuff like buying a fun avatar down at the bottom of the screen, or eventually creating your own NPC name to be used somewhere in the world. Or if you build up enough points, you can create a companion, like the party currently has between Mogdramon and Cecil, and even Dripple D. So keep those things in mind. Yes, especially Dripple D. You can probably check out the more updated list that we'll be switching to just in the bottom left where the Twitch points are, so you can just take a look at that, see how much they are. Or if you're still using the Streamlab points, you can use that as well. We have the list of things you can buy in our panels down below. All the details for our streams down below in those panels. And I'll be updating Kemo's stats now that we have that on D&D Beyond, so he's no longer showing his brain. And thank you for stopping by. If you missed any of this, it's on our videos on demand here on Twitch or on YouTube before that gets taken down or flagged as being for children. So you can enjoy those things there. And yeah, we'll see. It may be an episode or something missed depending on who's here in the coming weeks. We'll kind of just play that by ear as we go. I'm assuming everyone's on board for next week at least.
Yeah.
Next week, what is that, the 20th?
That's not Christmas yet. The Christmas stuff is the following week. So
I don't think I'm gonna be here next week.
Okay.
So I don't know yet. Sorry.
Well, just let us know in the event thing. As long as it's not, the rule. Like if it's 2 people, that's where I have to make a call. But if 1 person, we can always still have a session and catch up later. But yeah, so like I said, we'll play it by ear. I'll let you guys know. You can follow my Twitter to get details on when our next stream is happening and stuff like that. Also, I've been trying to use like the titles of the Twitch to let you guys know, so you could just immediately go to our Twitch page and the title of the stream will be whenever the next time is that we stream at. So take a look at that. But yes, have a great night, everybody. Have fun. Follow us on here, please. If you sub, you get cool gold avatars for free. You can follow me on Twitch for details and fun stuff and just D&D memes in general. And we'll be back next week, more than likely. Goodbye, everybody. But before we go, let me just not end the stream. Let's actually make use of this raid feature. And let's raid my boy League of Explorers, is it?
Great.
Yeah.
League of Explorers. Let's see. Let's punch that in. There we go. All right, we're about to do it. But yes, have a great weekend. Have a good holidays. Those of you who missed the next episode and only watch this one, bye everybody. Later. See you next time.
Bye.